Okay, I hope you guys can see me. I'm going to end this one and go on to this one. Hopefully you're in there because it's showing that I am on. Okay, I'm on. Okay, hello, everyone. I know I'm on another stream, another stream. So get over here. Hey, I see people coming over. Okay, ooh, my hair looks a hot mess. Okay, for you guys, it just looks, it's my wig. Is it my wig? No, it's just my hair. Okay, so I've been posting a lot here lately. I'm going to wait till some more people get in before I start yapping. Welcome to everyone, to you who have chosen to join the live today. I should have had this topic a long time ago, but I've been so busy in this new Hulu course. I'm learning so much, which I'm learning how much I knew, and then I'm learning more stuff. So trying to compile that and put it in included into some of my stuff has been a work in progress. I wanted to talk about the Great Mother and the things that I have posted here, and to answer any questions that you guys may have. And so I've posted a lot of information here about the divine feminine, about the Great Mother, and about this shift that we're about to go into. There's a shift that we're about to go into. First, I wanted to talk about my experience here. If you saw my last video, I was talking about this. I've had, I think it's 2 different guys that come on my videos and make these comments. They don't want to accept facts when it comes to the Great Mother, when it comes to the divine feminine. When it comes to the divine feminine, a lot of these men are resisting. They don't want to hear it. They do not want to hear it. And so as we move on and we progress, especially I think we have 2 or 3 planets in retrograde, you're going to see more shifting go on, especially when it comes to the divine feminine. I was watching the news the other day. I don't know what country this was in, but they had sworn in a female president there in that country as well. So as this progresses, you're going to see women start taking more political offices. You're going to see women start to rise. You're going to see more women-based institutions as we move forward with this. And now another thing I want to bring to light as well, if you're not aware of it, there is, that 2025 plan that Trump has is basically a silent attack on women. It is a covert attack on women. I mean, why would you want to control someone's portals instead of controlling your anatomy? Okay. Again, they are trying to get their birth rates up because I bet we have more women. I'm sure we do, because we're the dominant species on this planet. I'm sure we have more women on this planet than men. And so a lot of them is racing it, probably trying to get their numbers up, but they're not going to let us know that. They have to keep that under wraps. And I'm warning you, especially the young people, because you're going to be the one who change things. You're going to be the one who makes the changes, because your souls the souls that's coming through now are the ancient souls of those ancient mothers that's coming through this new generation. You guys have old souls. You have reincarnated here to set things right. And you will do it. You will do it. You're already, some of you are already doing it. A lot of you are already opting out of being in relationships with men like that and putting your livelihood first. So when the change come in, it's going to be with those younger women at those those birth giving ages. I hope I'm saying that right. That change things. It's going to be you that change things. And it is coming. It is coming because more of us, I see more of the ancient mother, the great mother is waking a lot of women up, not just me. See, I wrote my book, 8-9 years ago now? I wrote my book a long time ago when the great mother started waking me up and she started opening my eyes to things. And I was like, really? But see, no one was talking about it then. And just like I told that guy on this video, he was like, the ancestors, the ancestors ain't told you that. I said, if you really honoring the ancestors, then you would know all this start from a woman. I don't know why you keep holding on to that. I don't even know why you keep holding on to, you say you are oppressed by the white man, but you won't let go his ideology. You won't, go look in those comments in some of those videos. He was going on and on. I couldn't do nothing but laugh. And then when I laughed, he was like, don't be immature. Why? Because I can't take you serious. I can't take you serious right now because you just excluded all these facts. You excluded all this truth. I'm not going to argue with you. And don't argue with them. Do not argue with them. I find it every time that we talk about this subject, when we talk about the divine feminine, when we talk about matriarch cultures, they go right into, why you so bitter? Why you spreading hate? And you ain't said nothing about hate. You ain't said nothing about being bitter. Hey, Tiffany, you ain't said nothing about that. But yet this projection, this deflection, these accusations, and then he tried to threaten me spiritually, try to make these. I was like, y'all used to, you can't do it with religious because I'm not religious. Now you're going to try to threaten me through the ancestors, the very spirit that put in me to write the book. So why would the great mother and the ancestors reveal this knowledge to me and then tell me not to say something? Then he went on to try to justify our oppression. Again, they'll try to justify to it. Oh, you guys was mesmerizing us. You were putting us on an illusion. And I know this probably ain't right. But looking at you now, maybe that's what you needed. Because you live under a fake illusion right now. What do you think you're living under now? An illusion of artificial power. Because you're not powerful. And when men start learning about these biological, scientific, and spiritual facts, we already went through that with the great cosmic mother. I broke that all down in that book. And it's even more stuff in there. You guys tried to justify it by saying that our magic was too powerful. You'll see them go back to that. They'll go, well, you were going to illusion. But maybe you guys created an illusion. You created an illusion for us to live off of. So be very careful out there. And then you have a lot of these men now that they know that we're becoming more spiritual and more grounded and going back to our ancient roots, a lot of them pretend. Hey, miscellaneous AB, how you doing, baby? But a lot of them will pretend like they into spirituality because this gonna be the note. They will adapt. We're talking about somebody. We're talking about an entity that set up a narcissistic mentality, because that's the mental structure here. When they put themselves first and had to go against facts, who was who, they had to build up a narcissistic mentality, a dark triad. So they are delusional. They had to create an illusion and a delusion to set this up. I was telling somebody the other night. I said we're in the what was the name of that movie called Stranger Things? I said we're literally in the upside down world. Men patriarchs have put us in the upside down world, and that's why you see mental illness is so rapid. You can go get treatment for mental illness, but you're not going to be cured. And the only way to really cure mental illness is break the walls of patriarchal down, because it's all lies. Even starting with that Bible, you have to be careful with that Bible. Even when I was in my hoodoo course and we had to learn many things, we're still learning stuff. I mean, it's so many books we have to go through, esoteric and occult books that we had to go through, and a lot of them that I already read. But looking through those books, I was like, this is so misogynist. Basically, when you start looking at some of the rituals that they have created for themselves, they had to create those rituals because they could not embody the divine feminine. They had to create those rituals because they could not embody the divine feminine. That's what you see going on in those this modern and occult, and you'll see all this hypersexuality. That's because men were never meant to embody that. They were supposed to go into these temples. We had temples, and they kind of excluded in that Bible and make you think that these men are going to a brothel for sex. No, there was temples where they had to go in, and it was a ritual, because sexuality and spirituality was one and the same to us. And we used that to reach our peak of divinity. Okay, we would use that to connect with the divine mother. And some men, in order for them to connect with the divine mother, they had to come into those temples. That's what that was all about. That's what that was all about. Why you think Abraham, Moses, all of them, they're not important in there. Pay attention to the women that they're marrying. Every woman they are marrying in there is a high priestess, or she knows knowledge about the metaphysical arts. She knows a lot about spirituality. She knows how to access that energy. Moses learned all that again. They learned this from the matriarchs. Even when you look at the Jew stuff, they're going to tell you that they got it from Egypt. But you talk about Egypt so much, but most of your rituals are centered around the Egyptian spiritual system. Even when we go into even when you start looking at they stuff really closely, they were following the moon. Even when you break down that Kabbalah and you start looking at the Sifrits, I think I talked about that a little bit here. I'm sorry, you guys, we got a spaz there. When you start looking at the Sifrits, the rabbi's gonna let you know the highest peak of divinity is reaching the divine feminine. All of that Kabbalah stuff is a front for the divine feminine, because that's where the real connection is. You'll learn that in Kabbalah too. I have a book now in there called the Secret Keys to Kabbalah, and it breaks down the Sifrits and stuff. But in it, they replace, and this is probably going over your head. They tried to replace the Shekinah glory spirit with Malkuth, but really Shekinah goes there, Shekinah glory. So either way around it, that's just like in your Catholic church. They'll talk about Jesus, they will talk about Paul, they'll talk about Peter, but they're going to bow down to that Mary because that's the source of their power. They cannot reach the divine without it. When have you ever known, you look at these, I always had a problem with that when I was reading the Bible. I just could not connect man being nurturing, loving, forgiving, and all that in there. I've never met a man that hold those type of qualities. Those qualities and attributes that belong to the divine feminine women. What he has done, he has tried to embody that in those rituals. That's what was going on in Sodom and Gomorrah when they tried to, when they went back. No, when they came from Sodom and Gomorrah, because they had overthrew the matriarchs there in Samaria over there in Ur. And then you have Abraham coming out of there because these men went crazy because they can't embody the divine feminine. And now they got hyper homosexuality going on there. It's nothing wrong with being gay. But this energy, if you do not possess the divine feminine, you're not going to hold that energy. It's going to come out some other kind of way. It's going to come out some other kind of way. And that's what that's all about. Because it's you have broken something up and tore it apart and try to put it together again to fit you. It is perverse. That's why you see all that perverse, SA and DV and all that stuff. It is perverse because it was never meant to be. He was never meant to have his hands on it. He would have to go through the woman. This is their problem. I really don't think they have any really, I don't really think they have no real divine contact like they say they should. They are doing. I don't believe that. I don't believe that, especially when you're not going through the proper channels to connect with the divine feminine. And every time somebody tell you something about the divine feminine, you get upset, you deflect, you avoid, you justify, all of those things. You do everything except acknowledge that this is truthful. And I've seen that with them. Okay, so as we move on here, like I was talking about Kamala Harris. Now, she is a Libra. That's very interesting. And we know that Libra represents justice. It represents balance. Now, my only thing with her that concerns me and looking at her chart, her zodiac chart, is that a lot of Libras have problems setting boundaries in relationships. They will play both sides if they have to instead of make a choice. And so that's my concern with her. How strong is she going to be? Oh, thank you, Miscellaneous AB. Thank you so much. But I just wonder about her. And then in her chart, it indicates that she needs to be careful with her finances. And her finances can motivate her to be unethical if she's not careful. So I just pray that she got all her ducks in a row and that she comes in. What I would like to see, and it's just me personally, you guys, I think the only way she successfully can run that is she fire every man in there and hire women. That's just my take. That's my take. I think any woman that gets in that political seat like that, I don't think they should have a man there. And if they do, they should be in subordinate roles. They should be in subordinate roles. That's just my take on it. Because men, a lot of them, some of them, I'm not saying all. Yeah, clean house. Should clean house. Just like, Obama got in there, he decided who was going to be his vice president, who was going to be this and that. I think she should do the same thing. Clear it out with those men. Clear it out, especially, what was her name? Jasmine Crockett. I saw her in there, and she was giving them the business. She was she was a House representative, some type of representative. And she was giving them the business. She said, no, you didn't think that these mediocre white men that was going to do this to a high educated Black woman that might be the next United States president. I said, say that, girl. Because they're so used to doing that. And that woman had her stuff together. You hear me? She had her stuff together, and they could not hold a candle to her. They could not respond to her. It's the ignorance. And now that we are starting to wake up in numbers, we're starting to wake up in numbers now. Even the young people, my heart just leaps for joy when I see the young people come in here and or sharing their insights and their awakening of the divine feminine. My heart just leaps for joy. I just, I praise the great mother even more, because I'm like, oh gosh, we have a chance. And see, we have the genetic coding. Like I told you, we don't need them. And I don't mean to say it in a way that is disgraceful or disrespectful or anything like that. Nature has put in us women that if there were no men on this planet, we would be able to replicate. Men cannot do that. That's why they spend their time trying to get back in the womb after they get back out. They spend their lifetime trying to get back in to replicate themselves. And they don't take care of their children. But this is common. You will see that among nature that most animals, or if they're female animals, they take care of each other's children, and they travel in groups. You won't see too many men there. And if you do, you maybe see, one or two. That's just like in the Pride of Lions. You will have one lion, and then you have these other lioness out there hunting and stuff. But you have this one lion who is ahead of the pride. But where's the power from? It's from the lioness, not the lion. I see. This is who I was talking about in here, you guys. He's in the live right now, making these disparaging comments. He said your dads are evil too. That's what he said. I think men know to a certain degree. I'm going to use this example that was very popular on TikTok. They were asking these men, if you were in the woods and you had no choice but to leave your daughter there, who would you rather leave your daughter with, the bear or the man? What do you think people chose? What do you think those men chose? What do you think those men chose? Put it in the comments. They had a choice to leave their daughter with a bear or a man. What do you think they chose? Put it in the comments. I want to see some of your answers. I'm looking in the comments now. What do you think that? He said it for him. The bear. You see what I'm saying? The bear. Because they know the psychology of themselves. They know that they're in there. Something in there is not right. They know another man, it's hard for another man to trust another man because they know something in them is not right. Okay? They know something in them is not right. They know that there's an issue there. I've had many men, even my dad, Said, babe, don't trust no man. Always have your own. Don't depend on no man. Why do you think they tell you that? Why do you think they tell, their daughters that, their wives that, their nieces that? Why do you think they do that? Because they know. Yeah. Because they know. You're right, Urban Alchemist. They know that something is wrong with them. That's why I don't go back and forth with them. You're delusional. You're fighting to keep me oppressed. You're fighting for your artificial power over me, and you don't have it, sir. You're an XY chromosome. You need to understand who you are. You have been lied to. Those muscles don't make you powerful. They don't. Those muscles don't make you powerful. They do not. It does not. What makes a man powerful when he learns how to process, when he understands this, when he understands his nature. You don't have to listen, Luck Laser. Would you like for me to block you? I can do that as well. Nobody asked you to be here. They do. They have a disdain for it. That you're so right. You're so right, Urban Alchemist. They have a disdain for it, but I'm telling you right now, man, I'm going to tell you, and I'm not trying to be ugly, nothing. The divine feminine will is going to reign. I don't give a damn what you do. Your time is coming. Your time is coming. That veil is going to be lifted. We're now seeing women are looking at the truth of how they've been oppressing and abusing women. Every time they look under that trafficking, that child trafficking stuff, they have to put it back down because most of the men in high authority, and it goes all the way up, is participating in it. Back and look back further, it's been going on since the 12th or 11th century. Documented, but it's been going on before that. What do you think those wars was about in that Bible? They were throwing over matriarch. Yes, we are tired and fully fed up. Yes, miscellaneous AB. They know it, but they're scared of that power. They have always been scared of our power. Why you think they went on their witch hunt? They got rid of the midwives and the doulas. I'm so glad the doulas and stuff and midwives are coming back. They got rid of that. Then they took over medicine and started doing medical experiments on women and stuff. They psychologically examined us. When they first hit this planet, these out-of-source beings, Billy Carson tells a story. I've posted it here on the channel before. When they first came out of here, they came from out wherever the hell they come from. When they first came here from their planet, they needed to replicate themselves. They needed to replicate themselves. That's what that story about Mary, Jesus, Osiris, I said. That's what that is about. Okay, they twisted these stories up. And so when they came here, they couldn't replicate themselves. So we tried to help them with the technology that we had. Believe me, we had technology. We had advanced technology. When they're talking about Atlantis and they talking about that Tartarian era, those were women matriarchs that built those pyramids and all that sort of technology. They even invented writing, mathematics, architecture, all of that. And they like to give it to Thoth, but Thoth didn't do a damn thing. Sheshet taught Thoth. Sheshet was a matriarch that all the Masons, so-called Masons, they had to go through that ritual to even become, to be included in the occult or esoteric practices. She did the measuring. Okay, that's that. So when these outside forces came in, they couldn't replicate themselves. So our great mother said, okay, well, let us help you replicate yourself. But the genetics and the norm that we had for them to work with, which came from us, every time we helped them, yes, ma'am, will net Louise Mayati. And so when we tried to help them replicate themselves, but with our genetics, the way we're made up, our genetics is so strong, we kept replicating ourselves. See that thing that you see in the Garden of Eve, looking at it from another perspective, that was nothing but a laboratory that they were in. Basically, that was a laboratory. That's all that was. It was a laboratory where they created Adam. Okay. And so we kept replicating ourselves. Now we were successful once we put his genes inside us and carried it to term. Then we got another species, which was man. Now, man say, this is his story. Now you will see that every time man tells his story, look at the, and I say even the metaphysics, because I look at Billy Carson and you know so much, so you know that you're leaving out a lot in this story, don't you? You know you're really doing this from a patriarch perspective, and you just excluded women at all. I seem to see that as a common thread in the metaphysical practice. I listen to them; they have some knowledge, but they leave out gaps and they leave out important parts, especially when it comes to women history. I do not listen to men when they talking and they're telling me something about humanity, and it's not a woman in there. I don't listen. I cut it off. Atom, you're right. Miss Robinson, you're right. But you'll see, they will leave that out. And that's for good reason. And some of them will go to and say, the black woman is God, but they will not go into detail, because to go into detail, they will have to tell you what happened to you. And they don't want to tell you that. They don't want to tell you they slaughtered your mother, your grandmothers, and your grandfather, your grandmother, your granddaughters, and your daughters, and your they don't want to tell you that. They don't want to tell you how they raped and pillaged villages and married children and all that stuff. And it's been going on ever since. Hi, Crystal. It's always incomplete. That's right, miscellaneous. It's always incomplete. They're not going to tell you the whole story. So that's why you got us women out here. I love UNA Republic. There's a lot of us out here. I'm not the only one. I'm sorry, it's glitching. There's a lot of us out here that are ringing the bell. And I when I start to see it, I was like, oh my God, the Great Mother is doing her thing. She is waking us up. We are waking up. We are waking up in high numbers. And it is I am concerned about those of us that can choose to control our portals. Because they want to have control of our portals. Yoyani. They want control over that. It's crazy though. Think about that. Instead of controlling himself and finding a way to replicate himself, he want to force himself up on us. Your penis as a weapon. That's basically what you do. Yeah, you can join me over Patreon over there. That's really what they do. They're using their penis as a weapon. As a weapon. As soon as they got power, they start making all these phallic symbols. But when that woman gave birth to replicate him, And then they were able to replicate a woman in their image. Yes, it started with the Black Moors, though. It started, they were the first one. That's why I tell people, watch the Moors. Watch the Moors. Them same people. That's them same people that left with Moses. It ain't no different. Them people learned everything from the Great Mother. It's not no different. Then they created religion. And then they went over there and civilized and maybe did some genetic testing over there in the Caucasus Mountain and put them people in power. And then came back, because the real Egypt is America. They came back and start enslaving the matriarch kingdoms. And when they start coming over there, they were not white. They were black. They look just like you and me. And if you look up what they call themselves Hebrew, that means to break away. They broke away. Ephraim. They call themselves Ephraim people. Afrim. That means to break away. They broke away from the divine feminine. They called, when they left Egypt, they weren't calling themselves Jews. They were known as the Ephraim people, the breakaway people, the people that broke away. So if they wasn't Jew, if they weren't Egyptians and they didn't have nothing to do with us, why the hell are they calling themselves Ephraim people? Because they broke away. And they wanted to come in there after these outside forces had dominated us. And they had dominated us, and they had all these men working, because we didn't enslave them. You know, like I said, y'all enslaved. We didn't enslave them. Whatever that outside force that created y'all, that's who enslaved you. It wasn't us. It wasn't us. It was the outside forces. And then you thought that you were going to come over there and run something. But the Great Mother was just like, no, we're not going to let you do that, because this is not how we run this planet. We're guardians of the planet. You know, it's a certain way we have to do things. And you don't have that. You're not originally from this planet. I don't know what that last part means. She is a mother, not a witch. I advise you to go read the book, The Great Cosmic Mother, because yes, she is the great black witch. And what does witch mean? Wise one. So let's not make that sound ugly, because it's not. It means she was a wise woman. She was the first wise woman. So let's not make that sound like it's bad, because it's not. We've had enough of that. We've had enough of that, of men trying to minimize our power, or to call it something bad, because you have them calling us pagans in their Bible, or heathens. You know, let's not do that. You know, let's not do that. That right there was one of the main things that orchestrates us. Gave men, it gave them some type of authority. I think they thought they had to unalive women. And the way they tortured witches, you think they did something? These so-called witches, wise women, you think they tortured slaves? Have you seen some of those Catholic torture devices? Oh my God. Oh my God. Picking fingernails, turning out your intestines. All that stuff started with the Catholic Church. Before it even came to the slave master, they had master torturing women in the Catholic Church. I didn't block him. But if I did block him, this is my channel and that's my prerogative. I didn't block him. Just like he said I was erasing his comments. I wasn't erasing his comments either. So let's not play the victim here, okay? Let's not do that. When men can't get their way, they're going to play the victim. Don't play that with me. Don't play that with me. And you think you finna get some mercy up in here, you need to get somewhere and go sit down, or you need to go educate yourself about the divine feminine. Because all that bullying and all that playing the victim and projecting and deflecting, don't do it up. This ain't the place for it, brother. And really, it should be nothing but women in here. This shouldn't even interest you. But because y'all refuse to get yourself together, you want to come in here and stop women from getting vital information that's going to change their life and make you accountable for the shit you do. So don't do that up in here. And see what women, what women would have to do to get back there to divine authority. I want to talk on that. Because this is a big thing too. Majority of women are, this is for women. They'll come in here anyway, and them don't be nothing but the losers, or nobody can't get no woman. Don't nobody want to fool with them because they're halfway crazy. Them be the ones. They be the ones that come up in here because don't nobody want to fool with them. They don't want to be accountable. They want they want the fruit that's hanging low that they can easily get. But you won't have that fruit hanging low no more. Because all of us going to be raising our head high, and we're going to be walking in our divine sovereignty. We're going to make you work for what you want. It needs to be that way, especially men of color. I think y'all the work. Boy, look at here. You guys are so quick to throw black women up under the bus. It's not even funny. It's not even funny. Y'all hate you even hate your mother. The way y'all put y'all mouth on black women. And your mama is black. And then go out to make whole podcasts. Whole podcasts about women. Because you can't get your shit together. You want her to be like your child, to shut up and be stupid and let you run her into the ground. It was a day that our great mothers and great grandmothers didn't have a choice but to put up with that stuff because they didn't have no rights. Women couldn't get no bank account. Women, it ain't been long since you've been able to vote. It ain't been long you were able to stand independently. You used to have to go through a man to do a lot of this stuff. Used to have to go through a lot. You couldn't do it. And most of your grandmothers and your great-grandmothers going to tell you, baby, don't get married, live your life. They only got married because they needed resources. Women don't think about men if they have all the resources. Most of us don't really think about them. We got everything we need. We really don't. What we need you for? And that makes men feel inadequate, as it should. But women, we are innately resourceful because we are connected to this planet. We are naturally resourceful. Men are not that way. They have to go through a series of self-development until they get to that. And other men need to be teaching men. They don't need to be in here. You need to be, because that's the only thing y'all listen to is men. So you need to go listen to a man and not me, because you ain't gonna respect what no woman got to say. Now, if I was a man and able to be aggressive with you the way you are, then you'll probably respect me. But you ain't gonna respect a woman that ain't gonna get aggressive with you. And if she do get aggressive with you, you gonna make that even more ugly. Yeah, that's the first thing they need to do is start healing that child trauma. The main thing is unpacking all the false programming that they don't want to get rid of. They don't want to get rid of it. A lot of them, some do, some don't. I was listening to young Pharaoh try to explain this, break this down to this man on that video. He really didn't want to hear it. I'm sure he was going to try to justify his dominance. He was gonna try to justify his dominance. That's what they do. That's what have me so worried because of the environment they have created for them. They can justify a lot of stuff. They try to justify a lot of stuff, just like they justified the unaliving of our great mothers. They didn't want, they tried to access that power, you know, and now that they access it, look at the world now. Yeah, you sure right at Urban Alchemist. They don't. I said, what the hell? They teaching us to cook, clean, and all this stuff. They basically teaching us how to be a slave for him. That's basically what it is. Sit back and look at it. So if you're not a man, so if I have a woman coming in here, I can break that down too. Give me just a moment. Let me get on these women. If you're a woman in here and you don't like this information, it's pissing you off, you need to ask yourself, is you a pygmy? You can't, you think your value, you think your acknowledgement comes through a man? You really believe that? Some of you might have sons, some of you might have husbands. And some of your sons could have some issues that you don't want to look at. You got a lot of these women that protect their sons when they know they're out of pocket. You got a lot of women that'll do anything to keep a man because she act like she can't live without one. So if I have a woman coming in here contesting everything, I've seen them. They pygmies. They do anything for a man. And I'm not trying to talk about you. You know, I was a pygmy too at one time. But you're not gonna get no love from no man. The only love you heard what Shera 7 said, and she didn't lie. She didn't skip a beat. The only real love is between a mother and a child. Any love you think you're getting from these men, the way they mind wired today, most of them, it's going to be transactional. You need to see why he's trying to get with you, because it's something he's trying to get from you. It's not because he loves you. And that's the God's honest truth. And I know a lot of you don't want to hear that, but that is the truth. He's not getting with you because he loved you. He's not getting with you because he loves you. It's something that he wants to extract from you because he's been groomed to be parasitic. They are parasites. I'm firmly convinced a lot of our energy is being consumed by them when we're in relationships with them. For instance, I knew this woman, you know, she her daughter got cancer when she got married to this man, this unhealthy man, and she got cancer when she was married to an unhealthy man. I am almost convinced it's something about their energy that depletes ours. It's parasitic. It's parasitic in nature. And in fact, scientists say for them, when men are single and they live alone, it physically hurts them. It physically causes inflammation in their body when they don't have access to women. They can literally make you sick. You are putting your mental, spiritual, and physical well-being in jeopardy when we get a relationship with them. I'm gonna give you I'm gonna give you my story. I'm gonna use my own self as an example. As you know, I separated from my husband. I think it's been about 2 or 3 years now. And before I separated from him, I was having this pain in my body, my lower extremities, my hips, and my back, bad sciatica and hip joint. And I just couldn't get it. I couldn't work it out of my body. I could not work. And my ancestors just like, that's all this trauma with this man that been set up in your body. That's what that is. It's going to take you a minute to work that out of you. But that's what that is. That is all that energy and all that trauma that dude got going on. And so I went to physical therapy. And wouldn't you believe, I got to go into physical therapy, and do you know I have worked all of that out of my body. My body is pain-free. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my gosh, it's just gone. There's no more pain there. I said I was separated, helping hand. Why does this interest you so much? Why are you so invested in this? If you had a woman, you probably need to be with her instead of be here. Because if you truly had a significant other, you wouldn't entertain this at all. You'll be too busy being by your woman. But you're only showing how insecure you are and how ignorant you are by sitting here trying to engage in an all-woman conversation. No, I'm not sure. My pain is not great. Now I got to be in pain. I'm not in any pain. I'm blessed. I am very blessed. I'm always with my spirit guides. I'm always with my ancestors. I'm always with my guardian angel. I am never alone, baby. I don't have to be in pain. I have unseen forces always guiding me and leading me, protecting me. So you don't have to feel sorry for me. The great mother is doing something great through me. And I have shared that pain. See, us women, we have a common thing. We have a common bond. Just like you men have a common bond to sit there and lie for each other and mislead women, and y'all take up for each other through your shenanigans. You know how y'all got that stupid ass bond that don't mean about shit. That's the kind, we have a better bond. Us women have a better bond than that. So we don't sit here and try to gaslight men and shit like that and try to justify the stupid shit we do. Yeah, that's what y'all do. Y'all sit there and try to gaslight women, justify the stuff you do, justify your friend. You won't out your friend if he cheating on you. It can be your brother. I'm talking about you can have a brother that see your significant other cheat, and he may not even say nothing. You know why? Because both of them men. And that's the truth. It can be your uncle that stepped out and see your significant other out there cheating. You think he's going to come back and tell you? Nope. More than likely not. You know why? Because that's against their man code. That ain't none of his business. He ain't got nothing to do with that. That's the first thing he going to say. This is how they run, y'all. This is how they run. This is the game that they play. This is the game that they play. This ain't hate. This is not hate. It is just, I am just bulldozing down that messed up ass system y'all got messed up in ideology. And so when I talk on it, I got to be bitter because y'all out here playing games with this younger generation. I refuse for this younger generation to go through the shit that Gen X went through. I refuse for them to repeat the same mistakes as our great mothers, as I refuse for them to be caught up in this web. These men out here having all these baby mamas and stuff and don't take care of their children. But I always talk about they love somebody. They even make all this music, all these love songs, all these love movies, just to gaslight you into being relationships with them. They do all this just so that they have to do all of this, you guys, for us to influence us to be in a relationship with them. And then us, we're always positive, optimistic. Oh, I do want this husband. I do want me a prince. I do want this beautiful family and anyone. And then we get in a marriage with them. You find out, oh, damn, the honeymoon phase is over. This is the real him. I got to take care of these kids by myself. And now he want me to help him pay the bills. And then I got to clean the house. Then I got to go to PTA meetings. I got to go to conferences. I got to do all. He may not even show up. You would be basically a single mother in a marriage. You will be a single mother in a marriage. That's what you're going to experience. Do not, because a lot of them now are using their ding dong. I'm gonna say it, I'm trying to make it PG here. A lot of them using their ding dong for a weapon, and they trying to impregnate women and trap them. And see, now it was the woman trying to trap. It used to be a long time ago when we couldn't get resources and get access to resources. Women was trapping men with babies. No, this is turning around now. Men are trapping women with babies because you are a resource. You are a resource. We are a resource to them. They are not a resource to us. Why you think they screaming, I want an independent woman? Hell yeah, because they want to be a dependent. Helping hand, I don't know why you keep going. You keep on trying to gaslight me with being treated wrong, baby. No, I gained experience. I gained a valuable lesson. I sure did. And I'm not the only one. It's a lot of us women out here that has gained valuable lessons. And I thank you so much. Thank you so much, men, for this valuable lesson, because it gave me wisdom that I can go out here and share with the younger generation, because 99% of you ain't shit. It's probably 1%. Because you're doing the very thing that the rest of the 99% do. So I have to say that you ain't shit, because you keep on using these same tactics. And I've told you they don't work. I've told you that you're not invited here. I've told you that. But yet you sit here and you try to make these petty comments. You go right on. You go right on. But if you were so happy with your woman, that's where you would be while you here. You see what I'm saying? It's the ignorance that they do. And he knows, you know, it's crazy. Now you know this look ignorant, but you're gonna keep on participating in it. You see the stupidity in that? He knows he looks stupid. Look at the comment. But yet he's still in this. What is he trying to gain from this? That's the big thing. What are you trying to gain from this? What are you trying to gain from this? What are you trying to gain? What are you trying to prove here? There's nothing to gain or to prove here, because this discussion does not include you, sir. It's really crazy, but he's not the only one. There's a lot of them out there just like him. And this is why I'm concerned. I want you women, they got you thinking that white people, palm color people, are our biggest threat. No, it is not. It is men. Men has always been our biggest predator, ladies. And I urge you to do the statistics on the women who are unalived, who are SA'd, and who are abused. I advise you to look at those statistics and don't dismiss them. Do not dismiss them. I know a lot of us say, oh, no, that's not going to ever happen to me. Our mother said the same thing. I said the same thing. They are everywhere. And they are everywhere because this system grooms them to be who they are, parasitic beings. And they do not want us to wake up because they would not have no low hanging fruit. No one who's ignorant don't know what's going on. They won't have you to take advantage of anymore. That mean they say, don't hate the player, hate the game. That game will be over. They'll be the only damn player because the game will be over. That's what they don't want you to know that. It got to be, if your mama, somebody, an older woman like me, us crones, we get to telling you stuff like that, educating you. Oh, she just bitter. She just hate men. Somebody hurt her. That she just spreading hate. She just spread division. What little love you have left? He said, I'm trying to destroy the little love that you got in the community. You have destroyed. You have destroyed the whole community of Black women with your penis and your thinking. Men have did this all by themselves. Nobody helped you do. You did that all by yourself. With all the grace and mercy and love that Black women has extended to Black men, you have taken it from us and beat us over the head with it. You have used it as a weapon, but now it is over. What are you talking about? Now, if you was really trying to have love in your community, you would get your ass out this live. You wouldn't even be here. Talking about love, the little love we got in our community. What love? Y'all are lovers of men. Men are lovers of men. Why do you think that stuff is happening with TD Jakes? See, when you put a man up as a god and you bow down to a man, what you think gonna happen? When a man worship another man, what you think gonna happen? He really supposed to be bound down to the divine feminine, but he bound down to a man. And then there you got it. Y'all lovers of each other. Y'all kissing on each other. Y'all in the bed with each other. That's what happens. It don't surprise me. When I seen that stuff with TD Jakes, I was like, them same people from Sumer. He practicing a gay religion. They took the divine feminine out of it. Now they bound down to a man. That's where they get you. That's they made it perverted. They ain't supposed to be bound down. At least the popes got more sense than you. They bow down to Mary. They bow down to a Black Mary. They got more knowledge and insight than some of these men. They got more sense. Some of them got sense. But what you think gonna happen if you bow down to a man? And then they are emotionally homosexual. They think of women sort of like what you call that, a spank bank. The get off puppet. They would rather you not say anything. And if they could marry, women, if they can marry girls 12 and 13, they would, because they can mold them in their own image and tell them whatever. Yes, bromance. They still got these movies now called bromance because they are in love with each other. They would talk to each other. They will open up. They will be vulnerable with each other emotionally, but then come back home to you and be mad and all this kind of stuff. Act like he don't know how to hold no civil conversation with you. But they understand each other so clearly. You can say the same thing that man told him, but he gonna listen to that man before he listen to you. It is like, and that's why I say, whatever programming that they got, whatever programming or what happened to us, that rift between us, they have been programmed. They have been programmed to annihilate women in some way. I believe that. I believe that. To dismiss women, to lie to women, to manipulate, whatever you got to do to gain her as a resource, but don't treat her as equal. Make sure you thoroughly abuse her and misuse her. It's like they got this programming in their head. They got this program. They cannot look at a woman that's equal. They just can't do it. They can't. It hurts them. And then how do you think they felt? Now just imagine. This world was divine feminine. There were women empires. We had our own spiritual practices. Where the Catholic is now, you see why them Catholics wearing them long dresses? Women was wearing that. They even stole our clothing. They even stole our attire. We were wearing that. There were women shamans. There were women high priestess. There were no men high priest like that. If he did, he had to go through a self-development stage within the matriarch culture. He had to earn that. It was not easy. And he had to have good relationships with the community, especially the elder women. Especially the elder women. Now they telling you, watch them. Watch them. Because they came, whatever they act like they come from somewhere else. They act like it. I mean, are you looking at all the wars and all that stuff that's going on here? I mean, they build these nuclear weapons knowing that they can hurt themselves as well. Does that make sense to you? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make they are not designed to preserve the planet, but women are. We have all the genetic coding. So if men were to become extinct, this planet will thrive just fine without them. And that is a hard truth they do not want to admit. They don't want to accept. And you're only here because of us. That's the only way you could have got here. You need us. You need our genetics. Because with that Y chromosome, you ain't nothing. You ain't nothing. You need that X chromosome. Because with just that Y, you ain't nothing. You ain't nothing. And then part of what you is us. That's the crazy thing about it. Part of you is part of us. In fact, you are female first before you become a male. Women are very valuable. We're very resourceful. You're right about that. Women are very valuable and very resourceful. And it's not many men really couldn't they couldn't live in this world without us. And that's the truth. This planet couldn't exist with just men on it. I think the planet would get rid of them before they try to hurt the planet. And that's what we're going into now. Because they have caused so much havoc on this planet, like the great mother said, she gave man 10,000 years to get his shit together. In that Bible, over and over again, Moses couldn't do right. None of them have reached the height of their spiritual evolution. That's what this is about. That's what that Bible is about. That Bible is about man. It's addressing men. It's not women. They're very distinctive in their Bible. They separate the man from the woman in that Bible. That Bible is addressing him in his spiritual evolution. That he's had a problem with the timing since the beginning. This story was about, because women, we already got it. We're innately intuitive. We're innately spiritual. And that's how they took us over. When they took over our spiritual practice and turned into religion, that is how they dominated us. None of them did right. That's right. None of them did right. And this is not spreading hate. I'm not spreading hate. I'm educating. I'm making sure that every woman, I reach as many women as I can with these facts and with this information. A book on it. You can go get the book. I think I posted it here somewhere on the channel. And now women, I see women. And when I wrote that book, well, nobody talking about that. Nobody was talking about it. Even after I wrote the book and I read it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot tell this. People are not ready for this, ancestors. They said, go ahead and print the book, write the book, complete it. You need to complete it. I said, but I can't go around telling people this stuff. You know, I don't know how they're going to take me. They're going to take me, you know. And I wrote the book. I promoted it a little bit. And then I let it, it's been there on Amazon. Then this topic comes up again, and the answer said, now talk about it. Talk about it. But the way men respond to this information is the same way white people respond when you start telling them all the facts about slavery. That's the same way men respond. But they don't like racism, but you love misogyny. I don't understand it, making it make sense. Thank you, Chloe. They love misogyny. That's why I say something's, and it's so frustrating because you just like, something is wrong with y'all. Something is really wrong with you. And you want to lead something. But it used to be a time you understood that. But when the Moors left there, when they left Egypt, because like when I say when they left there, they were called Ephraim people. When they left there and they stole the Ark of Covenant, because the Ark of Covenant belonged to Egypt. It didn't belong to the Jews, the Hebrews. It didn't belong to them. They stole that. They stole that. You know, and they made up this story. That story don't even make sense. Really, when you go to look at it, why would you stay there working? I'm sorry, I glitched out for a minute. Why would you stay there for 100? Because they stayed there for I think over 100 years. Why would you stay there over 100 years? Y'all came there because y'all claim y'all came from Sodom and Gomorrah. You didn't have no food. It was a famine in your land. You already threw over the matriarchs there. You know, that's what they tell it in their story. Okay. Why would you come there and stay hundreds of years? If you would just treat it that badly like that. And then when you look at the art, all the architecture around Egypt, especially the one so-called Egypt in Africa, there is no artifacts saying slavery was there. In fact, Egypt is the last place that matriarchs colonized. The true Egypt is over here in America. There are more pyramids and mounds that are older than the pyramids over there in so-called Egypt. And we are not, see, this is more information. All of us are not from Africa. A lot of the indigenous people are right here from America. They say they're not going to tell you that. But that's the smoking gun right there, that America is Egypt. And that Egypt over there in Africa, that was the last one to be colonized. That's why you don't see it really completed like the ones over here. The ones over here, they have temples. You can go in. They got stairs. They got all the elaborate decorations and stuff on it. They don't have that over there because that was one that we were getting ready to colonize over there. That's why you see these pyramids everywhere, all over the place, because those are the places that the matriarchs colonized. They had sophisticated technology. They were the builders. They were the teachers. They were the 180 civilizations. They were the one feeding the planet. For example, let's talk about corn. Corn is indigenous here to the Americas, but yet we see corn going all the way over there in Asia. How? Why? Because all these women were all linked together. That's the common thread with all these religions. In every culture, every tongue, every practice, everyone on this planet bowed down to the divine feminine. That's the common thread. And then men came over later and changed all the artifacts that were women. They changed them to men and start doing phallic worship. That's what happened. They did a lot of trickery with that. So just like you see white people painting stuff white, black, white, when it was black people, they try to whitewash it, as they call. Males have did gender washing too. So you look at a lot of those pictures and stuff. That's why when you look at a lot of those artifacts, those seals, you see women on those seals. Majority of those ancient seals, like the seal of Queen Califia, the seal of America, were dark women on them. Then later, men went on to change the seal. So there were gender washing too. So a lot of these artifacts that you think that men, they are actually women, because men came in and gender washed it. Just like that Sphinx in I think it's a Sphinx over there in Africa. A lot of people thought that was a man, but that's a woman. That's an indication to let you know, woman ruling this planet for thousands and thousands of years. Men have only been in control for about 10. I give them 10,000 years. Before that, there were women in charge. There were women in charge before that. That's a fact. They can't dismiss that. Now, when historians go, they have been trying to dismiss this fact. But anthropology and archaeologists will tell you, just like I was reading that book, The Great Cosmic Mother, they'll tell you that all this book began with women. They don't have a problem with it, but historians do, because they've been found out. They was to put that in history books, and women start reading about their history, about who they was and what happened to them. Do you think they're going to be fooling around with men? Do you think they really going to be fooling around with men? If they put that in our history books, they put that ancient history in there, and they talked about that, do you actually think they're going to be fooling around with men like that? They're going to be more cautious about it, because once you know your history, now we know what happened with racism. We know the story now. We know we are more cautious around non-colored people. Now that we know that story, we know our story, we know how the ways to protect ourselves. The same that would happen with women if we were educated about what happened to us. We wouldn't be fooling men like that. You will remember your story. You went in there, you'll go in there with more knowledge than you have now. They got us caught up in a fairy tale. We're just gonna get married, we're gonna be my prince, we're gonna be a heaven after, we're just gonna be so romantic, we're gonna be this and this and this and that and this and this and that, and it ain't nothing like that. Ask your grandmother. Ask your grandma. You even got to ask me. Go ask your grandmother. Go ask your great grandmother. You know, ask them about their experience. I know when I was talking to my grandmother, about her experience. My grandfather, they had 10 kids. Yeah, they had 10 kids, 5 boys, 5 girls, 8 lived, 4 boys, 4 girls. And to me, on the outside looking in as a grandchild, I'm like, oh, my grandmother and grandfather had a great marriage. You know, he treated her right. And, you know, they were married for 24 years. And, you know, I know he did her right. You know, I remember being pregnant with my first daughter. I spent a lot of time with my grandmother when I was pregnant with my first daughter. And I began to tell her about the issues I was having with my child's father. And I promise, I no longer looked at her as my grandmother. I was looking at her as a woman, you know, as a woman that was having the same experience that I was experiencing. I connected with her in such a way. Yep, that's right, Chloe. They not gonna tell you that, baby. You would turn that damn table over. You would turn that damn table. Yeah, women be turning over tables if they found out. If they told that story, y'all would be turning over tables. You would be shutting down your sweet waters of Yoni. You would, if they told you that. If they told you that. But my grandmother got to telling me what my grandfather did and how he was promiscuous. And, you know, I was just like, are you kidding me? She was like, no, he did that. I looked at my granddad in a whole different way. I was like, what the fuck? So you mean to tell me he was one of these, just these, a typical, you know, I just could, I was just beside myself. I looked at and it totally different now. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry you went through that. I'm so sorry you went through that. You know, and that's something. When my grandmother, she caught him cheating a lot of times. So I guess she decided to have fun for herself. When he found out that she was having fun, he almost beat my grandmother to death. She went into hiding for a whole year. She left the home, was scared to go back to her home. He almost beat her to death and left her for dead on the railroad track. Somebody found her and nursed her back to health, and she went into hiding for a whole year. He was no different. And I always, you know, I wouldn't have known that story. You know, I'm glad I got that from my grandmother before she passed away, because a lot of those discussions that we were having, they are meaningful now. It's like the ancestors talking to me. You know, you know, those memories are like messages for right now. So I'm glad that she was able. That's okay. That's fine. It's just so she okay. I mean, she passed away now. Lord bless her soul. But those stories were for messages for right now, because I can remember when I first left my husband, I can just hear my grandmother talking to me. She just talked to me. You know, she was like, you know what we talked about, and you know what I said, you know, we got you. You know, we got you. You don't have to worry about that. We got you. But there's an issue here. And until you unpack that issue with this, you know, you're just not going to make any headway. And I finally had to unpack it and look at the reality of it, because that is women reality. I don't give a damn how men try to gaslight us. It's just like I'm trying to put it in a metaphor for it. It's just like unalive. You sitting here watching this man unalive you while telling you he loves you and he'll never do anything to hurt you. But yet you seeing him unalive you and gaslight you at the same time. That's what men do. They will do it. They'll have you losing your damn mind. And you know your divine feminine intuition is on point. And he gonna call you crazy. He gonna say something wrong with you. But the great mother put that intuition in you for a reason. Do not dismiss it, because they count on that. They like to call you crazy. They like to call you hurt. They like, they like to call, they have to deflect and project. They have to do that because they really don't like the truth. Even when the great mother was telling them, you cannot do this on this planet without some type of natural disaster of the planet repelling you. The great mother told him that. The great mother told them the rituals and the reason that women needed to be put in those positions. They told them that, but they didn't want to hear that. They were jealous. Why do you think, I was talking to my daughter the other day. I said, what's disturbing to me? That a lot of these men have to dress up and be women to be funny. Isn't that something? Isn't that something? I said, it's very disturbing to me. To make themselves funny. You see more men dressing up like women than women dressing up like men to be funny. It's very disturbing to me. It's very disturbing. It's very, very disturbing. And I'm saying, okay, is he funny without the dress? Is he without the dress? Because that becomes a part of their skit. Something to do with that. They make that their whole skit. Dressing up like women, acting like women. I said, wow. Wow, something is going on here. Something is going on with them. They are not safe. Anybody who can gaslight you, who can dismiss your intuition, who can dismiss the things that you say, who can devalue you, and who can leave you without his children, without any support, and go on and create another family, that person, something is wrong with him. He is an animal. Is all of them like that? All of them are not like that. There are a few that are doing their work. I mean, I have to give a little props to young Pharaoh. I was very pleased to see him break that down to another man. And that's what other men need to be talking to other men that know that fact. Because you have been trained in your mind to not respect women. Until you unpeel it and do that shadow work, you don't need to be trying to go in the circles of women. You need to be there with men, because other men, the way y'all been programmed to check each other. Y'all give each other permission to check each other. But you won't take checking from a woman. You won't take it. Some kind of way inside you think you're superior, but you're not. You're really defective because of that Y chromosome. I don't see how you don't see that. That's scientifically, go look at the science. I posted it here on the channel so you can see that. I posted it here so you can see that for yourself. The genetics don't lie. And so when you see them come in here, I'm firmly convinced, because of that Y chromosome, because of it is what I'm trying to say here. It is, without trying to put it in better terms, because that Y chromosome is a defective, or it is foreign. It's foreign because it's not an original. It's not an XX. It's broke off to a Y. Because it's foreign, don't you think that it would cause you? It would affect you psychologically. You don't think that affect you psychologically, the way you process information? You don't think that it will affect men psychologically? And I'm just trying to give them some grace there. You know, I'm trying to give grace here. Do you think that would mess him up psychologically? I think it would. I think it would impact them psychologically. Because again, they not innately intuitive like women. Women, we have a moon cycle that's connected to the moon. You already know we're here. We're from here. We have a moon cycle that's connected to the moon. In fact, our astrology used to be based on the movements of the moon until the patriarchs took over and they changed the astrology and they based it up on the sun. But the sun is not really doing anything. The sun is not responsible for our psychology. It's the moon. Moon means mental. That's what it means. So without the moon, we wouldn't be able to think properly. That's for women. We have a divine connection to the moon. What does that mean? So if the moon means mental, that means that we have a mental, psychological link to the moon and planet Earth. But like I told you in that book, The Great Cosmic Mother, Jonathan and Freud, they tell you that. They tell you that because the woman is originally from this planet, she has a cosmogenetic link to planet Earth and to the moon. That scared them. They also said that men, this is something, that men suppress the feelings of love and nurturing within themselves. Parts of them hate that within themselves. So they act out in destructive behaviors. This is what the psychologist said now. But yet these men, it's something. These still chose to create this artificial power for themselves. I reading that book, I was just like, what the? Y'all have this psychological you right, Chloe. You right, Chloe. Greetings, Amy Mon. But they will, you know, he said that they automatically do that. They don't really want to interface with the divine feminine. But see, there you go. You don't interface with it properly, and then you go out here and have this hypersexual relationships with these men. We got a lot of DL men too. We got a lot of down low men, y'all. I'm seeing more young women come forward saying that they didn't know that was with a down low man. That's where that's going to get you. They don't even understand that in their psychology. Now, if they would embrace the divine feminine and they respected the divine feminine, they would spiritually evolve. And I don't trust none of them. You see what happened with that nature boy. Don't be following these men out here, you know, because they're getting into spirituality now. They're clunking themselves. They're clunking themselves with just religion now. They starting to clump themselves over spirituality to be appealing to some of us women, because most of us are becoming more spiritual now. They starting to fool a lot of women. So be careful with that. You see what happened with Nature Boy. You see what happened? That's what happens. He turned into a full-blown narcissist. Stop following them. You see what happened to Brother Polite? Stop following them. And don't be, then they want to talk about polygamy. No, you don't need to do that. That's making you weak. The last thing you need is some yoni. You need the yoni to be cut off so you can get your mind right. Because there's some cutting off those sweet waters, because that's the sweet waters, baby. That is their sweet water. They spend their lifetime trying to get back in after coming out of it. That's the only thing that's going to get his mind right. That's the only thing. He don't need it. In fact, he's had too much of it. He's had too much of it. That's why he's so comfortable where he at right now. He needs to be uncomfortable. We need to cut them off from that. Close your leg, your yoni. You'll know, because we be selling out of baby oil and lotion. If we doing it right, we'll be selling out of baby oil and lotion. You hear me? You see where I'm going with that? Cut it off. Nobody telling you to pick up alternative lifestyle. I'm trying to save lives here. I'm trying to save you a life, a heartache. That's just like what's her name? Little nice looking girl, Haley. That Haley girl that sings. She got a sister, her and her sister sing. Anyway, I seen the little boy DDG talking about, hey, how you doing? Seeing with Ashay. Yes, they're gonna need a lot of that. You see how far that gets. See how far that gets you, because that's what you need. You need to be cut off. You don't deserve something so precious. Our womb is a portal, baby. We bring souls through there. We have been too careless in letting them put in their parasitic phallic inside of us, where they drop all their burdens and all their toxicity, and then we got to carry it with us. No, he need to keep his phallic to himself. That's what he need to do. Go over there to the brother that you want to talk to about your emotions, because you emotionally gay. So whoever you are sharing your emotions with and being vulnerable with, that's where you need to be at. Because if you've been sharing it with a woman, there's one thing about a woman. If we see a man that's vulnerable and they know he's in, because women, we make emotional connections. If she can make an emotional connection with a man, and he becomes vulnerable and she becomes vulnerable, and then you get them in that bedroom, baby, magic happens. Magic happens. It feels a lot different when you have a man that's being vulnerable and open up about how he feels, and you guys are trusting each other with feelings. Women make love to a man on a whole different level when he can open up and be vulnerable. But they so stupid they don't realize it. They are so uneducated about emotions. They are emotionally ignorant when it comes to that, because we have to teach them about their emotions, because they're not even in touch with them, even though they are emotional. Yeah, we have to tell them what they feeling. They wouldn't know what they feeling if it wasn't for a woman. If a woman taught him that, his mama had to teach him how he feel. She had to look at him and say, "Oh, you mad? Oh, you hurt? Oh, you this?" Because hell, they can't tell you what they feeling. That's why they go to each other. Because the blind lead the blind. They go to each other and they share their feelings. And they give each other compassion and mercy. Look at what P. Diddy did. You still got brothers out here trying to give him a pass. I don't give him a damn pass. I don't care if them people, the ego or whatever them people is after him. Boy, you had that money for a long time. You could have did something right for the black community a long damn time ago. But you got greedy. I am not going to support that. I don't care. I don't care. I can't dismiss the fact what he did to these women and children. Because when you hurt women and children, you are actually hurting God. You are actually hurting God. You are blaspheming every time that y'all commit these atrocities against women and children. You go against God himself, herself. That's what you're doing. You are blaspheming every time. And the great mother is tired of it. Yeah, Omar still trying to defend that, which tells me a lot about him. It tells me a lot about him. But yet he want to come on y'all remember when he had slept with that exotic dancer that was supporting his campaign or whatever to build that school, and it came out that him and they had sex. I didn't care about him having sex with the girl. It didn't bother me. You single, both of y'all single. She black, she beautiful, she exotic. It didn't matter to me. But he threw that girl up under the bus and talked about that girl like a dog. Why? You weren't doing that when you was trying to get the nookie. When you was trying to get her nookie, you was liking all of that. But now that somebody find out you were with an exotic dancer, you're gonna try to put her down like you something. I don't even want to get on you. I don't even want to get on him. But you're gonna try to put that girl down like that. And then from what I heard, I'm not gonna even repeat that. But he know better, and now he wanna start. I heard him talking to them to some younger men, and he was telling them. He said, all that stuff that y'all take women through. See, men know that they be doing bullshit. They know that they know they be doing bullshit. He was telling them. He said, hey, all that stuff that y'all took those women through. All that stuff y'all took them through, you're going to get that back to your daughters, and you're going to get that back. Do you know they act like they were surprised? They was like, oh, man, that's fucked up. I got to get that back. I said, oh, my gosh. We have something called cosmic law here. Do you don't think that it applies to you? Men don't think that applies to them. They actually think they can go out here and be destructive and reckless and abusive to women. Because you got, and cosmic law is not going to happen. But yes, it is. The great mother will come in here and shut y'all asses down. She would get rid of every man in here if you continue, if you think you're going to keep this on. And that's a fact, Jack. She would put out something that destroys the whole XY chromosome before she let you come up in here and keep on hurting with children. She will make all of y'all extinct and won't blink an eye to it. And I think you already becoming extinct because y'all fighting too hard to try to outlaw these abortions. Because some of these women, you forcing yourself on women, children, and forcing these babies to be pregnant by you. I can go on with the stories where you're sticking your phallic where it don't belong. You're not safe. Women and children are not safe around you. You are a predator to humanity. It ain't no animal. There has not been a bigger threat on this planet than the XY chromosome. You show me a bigger threat. Show me a bigger threat than the XY chromosome. I sit here and wait for you to do that. Show me that. That is the biggest threat. Now, is all of them like that? I'm not saying all of them like that, but we got to see. And you seen in this chat here, where these folks come up in this chat, you seen it for yourself. We got it. Did no man come in here with no damn sense? Did any man come in this chat with any damn sense? Did any man come in here sharing any type of enlightenment of what he knew about the great mother in this chat? Yeah, bring back our. That's what we really need to start doing. We need to, it would behoove us to get out of these Christian churches, because we have supported their stupidity in these churches, and most of the women sitting in the churches are it is more women sitting in the churches than men looking for this husband. And even the ones sitting in, most of the men sitting in church, they ain't right either. They think they God. They want to be your God. And they love you even more if you believe in their stupidity, because they give them free reign over trying to control and oppress you and treat you any kind of way. They have used that. The first time they used that Bible for slavery was on women. Look at that Bible. I'm gonna let you see it from a different perspective again. Go look at that Bible. The first time they used that Bible for slavery is for women. And then they decided to go ahead and use it in slavery after they created racism, because that's a man-made thing too. That's patriarchs invented that. They all was all together. All the white men and black men was together at first, pillaging the world, taking over the matriarchs. They couldn't wait to take over these different lands and stuff. That's what happened. And then when they start having power struggles, they start to base it on racism, and that put the white man on top. But they weren't worried about racism, really fighting about racism. Really, black men wanted the right to sleep with white women. And that's what that shit was about. That's what that was about. It was about men having the right to sleep. Once black men, because most black men started dating white women. That's what that was about. They wanted to be in the same bracket as white men. They wanted to have those same freedoms. It didn't have shit to do with women, although women helped them gain some civil rights and all that. I'm telling you. And I don't trust anything they say. And if I see a man talking about humanity and there ain't no woman, he didn't include no woman in it, or he talking about all these accomplishments and ain't no woman in it, I don't want to hear you. You a funky pair of lips to say anything. I don't want to hear you, because you shucking and jiving up there. You shucking and jiving. I don't want to hear nothing you got to say. That's like Billy Carson. When I was hearing him tell that story, I said, this man that left this whole story out of how they committed genocide against all these women. And I know you know so much other shit. You talk about all this other shit you know. You can't wait to be on one of these podcasts, talk about all the shit you know, but you don't want to talk about that. You want to talk about Thoth. You want to talk about the Emerald Tablets. He couldn't be able to write that shit if our mothers hadn't taught him. Where did he learn it from? Where did he learn it from? Don't listen to them. They always want to lead somebody. Do your man do you like this? What's the boy name? Derek something. He was all over Facebook. Giving women advice and what kind of man and how they should be and all this. And come to find out, he was a narcissist and did his wife like that. I don't think that child, it's going to take her a while to get her mind back, because he manipulated her, lied to her. I mean, he did all that to her. Yeah, Derek Jackson. No woman should be buying his book, supporting him. I mean that. He was so disrespectful the way he did that girl. Her mind, I heard a little bit from her last year, but you could tell she still is not quite right after that. You can sleep and have children with this woman. You know every part of her anatomy. And you can go out there and betray her like that. He was even on the podcast trying to put his wife down, trying to justify the shit that he did. I was like, oh my God. Stop following these men. And then what's the other one? The Kevin man. Everybody wanted to follow that man right there. Bless his soul. He dead and gone. But the shit that was coming out of his mouth. Stop listening to these men about relationships. Stop listening to these men about love. He don't know what love is. The only real true love women can ever know is between a woman and a child. That is the true love that in this day and time, that is the only true love that you can experience is between your mother and child or between your siblings. That is, you're not going to get it with no man. You're not going to get it. You are not going to get it. He don't have it. If he could do that, he would have already did that. He don't have it in him. I don't give a damn how fine he is. I don't care how much money he got. Look at P. Diddy. That man sat there and knew he was gay, but he wanted to be around all these beautiful women. Because why? Because they had power. Their beauty was power to seduce the men that he didn't have the attributes to do. But with women, he could seduce men. He can seduce men. That's why they love your power, because we make them look good. We lift them up. We give them status. Without us, they really have no status. Now, he had all that money. He had all that money, but he still needed a beard, which is a woman to cover him. Why he kept saying, I need a woman to cover me. I need to have he needed a beard. Then say, well, you sure right, Amy, man. We everything. Talking about what you bring to the table. I am the fucking table. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? And then who was that? Tyler Perry talking about us women might have to choose a man who can just pay the light bill. Now, who are you serious? I come from a divine source. I'm a woman of color and come from the divine source. I am the very pick of any woman. I give birth to civilizations, and you want me to accept less? Are you crazy? Have you lost your damn mind? Black men is the only one doing that shit. You don't see white men doing that shit. And then they turned into the passport bros. Don't nobody want you gonna get yourself in that and when they got themselves over there and got themselves hurt. They didn't got themselves hurt. Going, I'm gonna be a passport brother. Y'all, we can go get us some women. Even though women over there don't want you. Them women don't want you. Them women don't. You ain't gonna do nothing but do the same thing you did here over there. You are the problem, sir. Wherever you go, you take your damn problems with you. Think it's gonna make us mad? We glad. We glad that you gone. That's one less person we got to dodge not to give our damn number. Then some of them want to beat you up because you don't want to give them your phone number. You ain't interested in them. You got to lie to them. They ready to punch you, do all kinds of stuff to you. If you don't give them your phone number, you tell them, I'm not interested. Or you got to tell them, I already got a boyfriend. I already got a man. To throw him off. Because if you see if you tell me you a man, he'll pretty much go away. And if you tell him you don't want to give him your phone number, he be ready to fight. He be ready to hit you. Me? Y'all see him in the comments here. See, you see that justification? You see that justification in the comments? Look at them comments. Me? Are you a man? Me? Are you a man? Women twerk on. Let's talk about women twerking on. I don't know about women twerking on graves. I know about men abusing women. I know about men betraying women. I know about men unaliving women. See, I know about that. Yeah, I thought you was. You sound just like a typical one who has a mind virus. You got the mind virus. You got a mind virus. That's the best way I can explain it to you, sir. You probably want to leave out this live. There ain't nothing I say you're going to be interested in hearing it in, sir. You're not going to be interested in none of this. You're going to deflect, project, and justify. That's what you do. See, you want to change my whole subject. You want to change my whole subject. You want to change my whole subject because you're uncomfortable. But this topic ain't for you. It's for women. So why you in here? It's for women. And if you ain't unpacked feminine, then you're not getting very far. If you don't want to talk about that discussion, then you're not getting. I think it's going to be very hard with them with this spirituality to spiritually evolve because of that very fact. It's only so much they're going to pretend, because us women, the deeper we get in our spirituality, the more we interface with the divine feminine. And I'm fine. Many men are doing that. They're not doing that. Yep. Yeah, the disrespect. But see, somebody, it's something how they would come in here. Now, you don't see women getting in their box doing this stuff. We don't, when we see that stuff, most of us, we'll just scroll on by, or we'll ask, a question politely and keep it going. But them somewhere inside them, they have the audacity. They take it upon themselves to try to check us and put us down. And they don't even know each other, but they would team up with each other to bring down a woman, especially if she black. They'll make it their business. You remember what that girl said on TikTok? Her name was, I want to say her name was Brie something, but I liked her content. She had some really good content. And she was talking about, y'all men need to be better. Y'all got all these women coming up in here and y'all asses is just dusty. Y'all need to get some mental, go get your mental health check. Y'all need to check on y'all mental wellness, and y'all need to upgrade and change a little bit, because, these women ain't wanting to be with y'all like that. I mean, all we asking you to do is go to therapy. Do you know the men called her job and got her fired? And I think she had some threats at her home. They went out of their way to do that to that black woman, that black young lady. Yes, they did. They take it up on, they have the audacity. That's just how long, that's just how comfortable they are gaslighting us. That's just how comfortable they are betraying us. It's just how comfortable they are abusing us. Just like Dr. Umar, he don't give a damn about that. He don't give a damn about how P. Diddy was trafficking and all the atrocities that he committed against people. He don't care about that. He don't care about that. He said nothing about all these folks that he didn't hurt. He said nothing about that. He don't care. It's like, to them, I'm trying to explain it so you can firmly understand about how men see us. Most men see us. Men see us, let's say, like a refrigerator. I can open and close it whenever I get ready. I can pull out food to cook whenever I get ready. You're just like an appliance. That's basically what you are. You're an appliance. They don't like when you have to talk, or you want to talk about your feelings. They don't want to talk about your feelings. They don't want to talk about that. They don't want to talk. Don't even waste your time. Those kind of discussions, they're going to save them for their friends. They're not going to have that conversation with you. They look at you as an object. It's exactly right. They'll trade you in. They'll trade you in. If they think another woman will upgrade them, they'll leave you and go to the next woman like it ain't nothing. And then call you bitter because you're hurt behind the stuff that he has done. He going to call you bitter. Yeah, he going to call you bitter. You're not supposed to feel nothing behind that. But do him like that. Do him like that. He be ready to kick in doors, bust windows, you call you everything but the child of God. That's what they do. And it's something they feel comfortable with getting in these comments. It's something. I mean, it's something. They don't care about looking stupid or ignorant. To them, it's justified. It makes them more manly. This shit is crazy. It is crazy. It is crazy. They are crazy. So, young ladies, and I know many of you are young. I'm so proud of you guys. I'm so proud of you guys. The great mother is proud of you. You are going to be the women, because the Gen X women, we have been so damaged by the baby boomers that was caught in this. And we were going through so much trauma of ourselves being raised by the baby boomers. We caught this at the last. But you ladies, you young ladies are so smart. You're so smart. I just love hearing y'all talk. I love hearing you love on yourself and put yourself first and not wrap your world around a man. I'm just so proud of y'all. I'm so proud of y'all, because I know the change is going to come with y'all. And I know y'all ain't going to take no shit. Y'all just not going to do it. Y'all seen what we've been through. Most of you have seen what we have been through. And y'all said, I ain't going through that stuff my mama went through. I'm not going to put this. I'm not going to do that mess. I'm so proud of you. You guys are a new blueprint. You're going to set the bar high. I pray that you do that you set the bar high and give them hell, grow them up and cut them off. See, they scared of that. And I love the work that Priscilla, the Queen Maker, does. Now she has broken all this down to a science. She broke it all down. But see, it's something, people are talking about this, and I wrote this book 8 or 9 years ago, breaking it all down. Yeah, a new day is coming. The divine feminine, you guys are going to embody that divine feminine. You guys are going to, you're going to actualize it. You're going to be walking in it. That's why I say it's also good to learn self-defense, because this happened a long time ago. This happened a long time ago. And it took them 10,000 years. It took about 3,000 to stomp it out. And then came that Jesus. That is the beginning of the patriarchs. That Abraham, Moses, that was then. But you young women, be the one who will be the new upgrade. Because we always are better. We get better. I'm better than what my mom was, because I learned some things. My daughter's a little bit better than what I was, because they learned some things. So now you're going to be better. You're going to be better. And I want, listen to your bodies, because even because they had us believing that stuff, y'all. I sat there, I get so upset with myself sometimes. They had us believing that we came from a man's rib. Can you believe that shit? You know how many years I believed it? I was almost as mad as I was mad. I was more mad about finding that out than finding out white people whitewashing stuff. It's like, what the hell? So, the great mother, and that's when the grandmother said, it ain't never been about race. It's always been about the woman. The war ain't about race. Because if the women come together, the women shut this down, all of it down, the racism, all this shit. That's what it's about, baby. It ain't about no racism. They fooling you. They don't want women coming together. Because see, when women was together, we all understood. Go back and read the book, Great Cosmic Mother. We all understood that all of us came from a black woman. It didn't matter. And she gave birth to all sorts of variations, color variations. And so you have these women all over the world that were matriarchs. Remember, Aset, Isis, that was a global worship. Just like you see Christianity all over the world, goddess worship was all over the world. And these women had different queendoms. Another popular topic is Queen Califia. Look at her story. These Amazon women, the Amazon women were actually a matriarch army. A matriarch army. In fact, you know, the Greeks wrote about them. They were afraid of these women. They even told each other, you can't truly become a soldier if you can't defeat an Amazon woman. And they were afraid of these women. They were undefeatable. It took them years to overthrow that. Because when women, we are the first protectors. They got you thinking that we're domiciled and we can't defend ourselves. You saw the woman king. Did you see the woman king? Did they look like they were defenseless? Did they look like they was helpless? And then that king, he wasn't about nothing because he was just sitting and selling them into slavery. That is what they did. He was just selling into slavery. But the woman king, she was like, oh, we don't have to do that. We don't have to do that. We can do this. She was coming up with other ways than trying to put people into slavery. She wasn't having it. We can even go back to Queen Zinga. Her brother supposed to be king, but she had to step up. She had to step up. Other men are scared of other men. But when women have to fight and we are prepared, we ain't scared. Yep, we control the dragons, the animals. Yep, they selling it all. That's what they do. That's what they do. You remember back in the 70s, I don't know, a lot of you probably wasn't around during that time and you probably don't know a lot about that history. But back in the 70s, black men was pimping women. Oh, they had no problem with that. They were pimping. You think women went through something now? Going back in the 60s and the 70s, sometimes they had no choice. And then they would say, they would go through this thing where they have to break, they call breaking her, making sure that she's going to be a keeper. You know how they did that? They would beat the woman halfway till she almost dead. And when she heal herself, if she come back to him, he know that's a keeper. But if she leave, he know she ain't want no keeper. So basically, he was trauma bonding her. This was an actual thing. You can see that. What is they talking about? Pimps up, hoes down. They got a documentary about it. They have a whole documentary on how they oppress and pimp women out. Yeah. Yeah. They got a whole documentary on that. And you women, the only way we're going to get out of there is get out of those Christian churches, develop our own spiritual institution. Get out of those churches. That's where the power is. You don't really have to fight them. Just stop going to them damn churches and watch what happens. Stop going to them churches and come up with some goddess temples or some divine feminine churches and temples with nothing but women where we practicing our herbal medicine and practicing our rituals and doing song and dance and teach young women how to make their own clothes, design their own fashion, and become world leaders and stuff. We get off from that. That'll shut that shit down. They depend so much on our resources, baby. Because if we weren't in them churches, because we are innately spiritual. That's why most women are in the church. Yep, pimping pastors, they pimping us in the church too. And you come at them churches and we start creating, because that's where your sovereignty at. That's where our sovereignty, we tap into infinite power once we get together with our sing and dance and we come together and start doing our rituals again. They have separated us and put themselves in charge of us with this pastoring and preachers and shit. Yep, these center males, period. They didn't have enough of your attention. They are not the center of everything. They put themselves in that. They put themselves in that. They look at women as some kind of objects. That's what that money did for them. You know, they get that money. They really don't want they get rich. They want a lot of women. They want a lot of women. That made them, they gave them access to women. Their resources gave them, because we don't know woman that gonna be, ain't gonna be looking at no broke ass man. And the only time we really gonna be attracted to a man is that we're more attracted to the resources than we are the man, most of us. You can't be in love with a broke man. It's hard to be in love with somebody who can't provide. And now you seeing them now, they don't want to provide. They want an easy life. They want a soft life. We us women said we want a soft life. Then they said they want a soft life too. You see how the jealousy starts? They want everything. They'll try to match our energy. They will copy us. They have no original nothing. They have not created shit. I'm telling you that. When they were going into space, I'm gonna give you another example. When they was going into space, that movie Hidden Colors, did you see any men in there helping the men calculate that? You see no men. You had nothing but black women. Why black women? Because black women have that genetic coding in them. They were already going to space. They were already that in the ancient times. They were already doing teleportation and all that. There was no black men helping them scientists calculate getting in the space. There were nothing but black women. Why? Nothing but black women. There was no black men in there. No, they scientifically know that we have that technology in us, because when they came here, these outside forces came and started tinkering with our genetics. They already know that we were already we had advanced technology. You can see that in the pyramids. You can see that. We had advanced all of that. We the one that created writing, mathematics, all of that. Are you trying to use the witches again as a disparaging comment? That's really a compliment. If somebody call you a witch, ladies, that's really a compliment. That's a compliment. I look at it as a compliment because witches are called wise women. So thank you for the compliment. Yes, she shared. Wisdom is magic. Magic is all around you. What are you talking about? The ethers, energy. It's all magic. What are you talking about? Magic is all around you. Nature itself is magical. What are you talking about? And magic is all around you. Magic is all around you. So I don't know where that comes from. And I wouldn't call it magic. I would call it metaphysics. It's a science. We perfected that in Kemet. So what are you talking about? This is physics. So what you're calling magic is actually metaphysics. It works through cosmic. See, when you're not educated and you just saying shit just to be saying shit, you don't know. So you probably need to stop using that term. You probably need to stop using it because it makes you look stupid. And we're definitely not scared of magic. Since our ancestors passed that down to us, the divine mother passed that down to us. Even when you look at magic, magic is patriarchal. It's familiar. It's familiar. You look at hoodoo, the more I looked at hoodoo in this hoodoo class, like I was telling my teacher, I said, this is familiar. This comes from matriarchs. Women were passing magic from one family. They'll pass it on to their daughter by word of mouth, and then their daughter will pass it on to their daughter. That's how we passed on our magic. Hoodoo, that's why when you look at hoodoo, they like to tell you it started during slavery, but actually you can see echoes of it in ancient Egypt. You can see echoes of it in Kemet. Everyone practice some sort of magic there. So, and then you talking about, yeah. So hoodoo is very, very old. That's why our ancestors, they remembered it. They knew what it was. They knew that it came from an ancient culture. It was so easy for them to integrate it and to practice magic. The book of Psalms itself is nothing but a spell book. In hoodoo, we have to learn all those psalms. Each psalm calls up on a different angel or accesses a different energy within the celestial realm. That they had to learn the stars, the planets, and all that to be able. So, when you know that stuff, it's a compliment. It's a compliment. That is compliment. You're not hurting anyone. And our magic is the very thing that helps sustain us. Our physics, our high knowledge of physics and energy and how to manipulate that energy. Women were very in tune with us with that because of this divine connection we have with Mother Earth and the moon. And y'all try to hide that, but y'all still have to go by the moon. We still have our moon cycles on the calendar. Even though y'all perpetrating the fraud with this sun, you still got to follow the cycle of the moon to count the days. Oh, you need some help? He don't want to be here with these women by himself. Spells are remedies. Rituals are remedies. You do a spell probably every day. And don't do it unknowingly. See, again, he's trying to find everything. You see what he's doing? Even though I've broken this down for him. I have showed him where this is a part of our culture. Magic is a part of our culture. We perfected that in ancient Kemet. Metaphysics, the power of the mind, the power to be able to control things with your mind, the power to reality. We already discovered that, but yet this man, did you hear what this boy said? You see what that boy saying in that thing? It gets more ignorant. It just get more and more ignorant. The more some of these men talk, the more ignorant they sound. The more ignorant. If it had not been for magic, Haiti wouldn't have never won the revolution and freed themselves. If it had not been for magic, then all Black people probably would have been dead if our ancestors hadn't reached in their mojo bag and started doing their tricks. So again, you sound stupid and ignorant every time you saying something like that because it makes no sense. Now, use magic for evil? Yeah, you can. Just like y'all use education for evil, y'all use that Bible for evil to oppress and abuse women. Yeah, you can use it for evil. Power can be good. Like a man, he can abuse power. Women's are the first teacher. If your mama hadn't taught you, if your mama hadn't stuck nothing in your mouth, you wouldn't be here. If your mama, you wouldn't know words, anything. Mothers are the first teacher. In fact, mother is the name of God on the lips of women and children. And don't you forget it. Mother is God. Have you ever breastfed your child before? Who in here has breastfed? Who has breastfed? That is an awesome feeling. Who has breastfed before? Now we lesbians. You see, now we lesbians. Because you don't want to fool with them. Penis. That's what it is. It's not dominant at all. It's just an outverted penis. That's all. It's an outverted vagina. That's all it is. It's a vagina that fell out. That's what that's what it is. You are defective, a rejected feminine. You are, sir. You know, you can call it what you want to. Now, once breastfeed, it's a feeling that comes over you, a connection that you have with that child, being able to you're nurturing that child. All of that is coming from you, and it's a connection that you have with your child. It is such a divine moment when you breastfeed. It is. It is. I think we do our if you can breastfeed, so you can understand how it is. You truly tap into your divinity. You see the God in yourself when you're breastfeeding. You really do. You really can see your divinity. If you breastfeed, you will feel it because that baby, you're that baby's everything. That baby can't thrive without you. You are literally a walking Mother Earth. To put it in those terms, you have everything that child needs. The right medicine that's in your breast milk, the amniotic fluid that's in your breast, all those antibacterial fighting medicines in the milk, all of that. It's medicine and all of that. So it's definitely it would definitely help you tap into that divinity within yourself. You will see it in yourself. Yep. Yes, you got right, Amy Mon. A mutation of original body, less chromosomes, and expected female. God is female, feminine. This is the first gaslight that God is male. You are right. Tell it. Tell it. It's going to take a dark feminine. What do you think you are, man? You are nothing but a dark feminine. You protest everything that is light in the light divine feminine. You are a dark part of the feminine nature, and that's why you are the way you are. You still feminine. That's why you know, y'all can easily sit there and worship each other. Y'all men are lovers of each other. You love each other. You love each other more than you love women. You love women's yoni, but you don't love women. You like being inside women, but you don't love women. I ain't never seen a group of men so hard in the comments trying to discredit women. But I'm not gonna even block you because I want these women to see. I want them to see the mental illness in you. I don't even want to block you because everything that I'm saying, you're doing right. You're proving me right every time when you comment All these crazy comments in there. You're proving, you're just showing me, you giving me confirmation that I am correct in what I am saying. That's the only one, sir. So I'm not going to block you. I want you to keep on showing yourself. I want these women to keep seeing what they're going to be dealing with. And you're not doing that. And it's really helpful with helping us cut you off from our, you're not doing that. I thank you for that. I mean, Yanni just so dry. It's so dry. It don't even want you. You ain't doing nothing making these women Yanni dry. You making them repel you. You just bringing in a lot of yelling in them comments. That's how you doing. That's how you doing. You know, that's how you doing. You just prove it in these comments, the stupidity that drives you. And it's really fun because y'all fall for it every time. You prove our point every time. We don't have to say nothing. That's why I say, women, you don't have to say nothing to them. You know what's going to hurt them. If you really want to get back, don't hate that shit. Don't mess with them. Don't give them no ground. Don't give them no slack. Put a steering wheel in his back and drive him. Do you hear me? He can take it. Because if he mash that pedal all the way down. Put that steering wheel in his back and go into overdrive in his ass. That's what he need. He need that. He need that. That's the only way he gonna grow. Don't no slack. Don't give him none, not nan inch. Give him hell. If he want to be with you, you give him hell every inch of the way. You make him earn it, because if he earn it, he gonna sit his ass down somewhere. He gonna be there. Don't make it easy on him. That's his problem. He's been having his low week. You know, we have dropped our standards for him, for them. Don't do that. Give him hell. He needs that. That helps him grow. That helps him grow. That helps him really grow into his manhood. Like I say, if there's any women in here, I'll go back this again. If there's any women that's disagreeing with anything that I am saying, I am asking you to look at yourself, because you could be a pygmy. You could be drinking the Kool-Aid. Because you know, when you have a son, it changed the chemistry of your brain, women. That's why y'all will sit there, some of you would defend your son, even though you know he jacked up, and y'all defend him. You do it to protect him. But you know he jacked up. You know he around here messing with folks kids, doing all sorts of stuff. Some women would be with husbands that's like that. No, he messing with the kids, but you that's what I'm saying. You give them hell. No. You supposed to give him peace. Are you serious? Spoken like a true pygmy. You supposed to give him peace. See, people go in these relationships. He supposed to already have peace when he come to you. You shouldn't have to give him anything. Already have peace. You shouldn't have to go into a relationship, find the love. Love should already be in you. But you can keep on playing that my man is the world, and you see how far it gets you. You see how far it gets you. I've seen women do that. I have seen women experience and do that. And they end up with all types of health problems, some mental problems, a lack of self-love. They so insecure about themselves. That's all that's going to get you. He had to go get his woman. And to you, some of these pygmies will go harder than these men. Some of these pygmies will go harder than these men. I'm telling you, they will stand on that shit. You got a lot of them in these relationships that get up on social media. Their relationship is so good and it is jacked up. Now, instead of them talking to each other, because they're in a relationship with each other, they in here in my comments. But they should be somewhere trying to connect with each other and get an understanding instead of being in my comments. You trying to dismiss a whole bunch of women experiences because of your relationship. It's all the other women's fault that the man is acting a damn fool. You sound crazy. You sound crazy. And you know these damn men out here raggedy. But I want to see the advice that you have for your daughter, if you have one. I want to see the advice that you have, what kind of wisdom you going to give your daughter. You sound crazy. So you said all this about their experiences. All these women is lying. It's all their fault. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? I can't really. These women, be careful about these women, people, because these women, these very women will help these men do bad things to you. They will set you up. Okay, they are quick to betray you. Be careful of those pygmies because they'll do anything for a man. Stay away from them. They are dangerous. They are dangerous. A lot of them you're gonna have to slap upside the head and get away from them because they have drunk the Kool-Aid. The man is top priority to them. They don't give a damn about their children, some of them. The man is the only thing they want sometimes. They would do anything, and men love women like that. I'm gonna tell you, I was with this man one time. I almost had a damn seizure on him. He said, "You act like you love these kids more than you love me." The kind of rage that came over me. The kind of rage that came over me. I said, "Boy, he had this thought. He thought that I should love him more than I love." And I told him, if you say that again, your face gonna be looking the other way permanently. You're gonna be permanently looking the other way that again to me. We ain't gonna even have that conversation no more, player. We ain't gonna even have that. Some of these women love their men more than they love their children. They would get out here and fight. You be trying to pull him up, and she'll turn around and fight you. You got some women stupid like that. So don't be surprised when you see them. They'll fight just as hard as he is in them comments. They'll fight. They'll make you feel like something got to be wrong with you. But really, single women are the most sanest people. We have the most peaceful, happiest lives. They are the one that got to be into that bullshit. We don't. They the one that got to be an indentured servant to him, cooking his food, running his bath water. Stupid shit. Yeah, they love that. You can have that, honey. You can have that. It don't mean I have to be lesbian. And it's something that you equate cutting men off with being lesbian. This just how stupid y'all. You every day when I see y'all, when I see their behavior, you help me not want to fool with you. You help women not want to go with you. Even you pygmies in my comments. You don't do nothing but help me. You don't do nothing but help women. I thank you so much for being in these comments. So now other people, my other followers and subscribers can see that this is a thing. This is a thing. That girl said, I'm not that man's piece. Pity. And she thinks she's smart too. She thinks she's backing up her man. She think him backing. I can't wait till he put something on your ass. You're going to be singing another song because he going to put something on there. He going to make you. That one telling no damn lie. Y'all dismiss your elders when they telling you something. You sit there and you think you know everything, but you don't have any experience. And if you ain't got no experience, you shouldn't be saying anything. I'm speaking from good you be to him. It still ain't gonna, because he a parasite. He gonna keep on taking. That's all he do is take. That's why your ass so tired. That's why your ass so tired. He wants you to tell me too much. But I know you just got out work and we make love. Can you cook me something to eat? I know you just got out work. Thank you. Love being called a witch. I love it. I just love it. I do. You ain't doing them giving me props. I love it. So, I mean, that's how you're going to be tired and everything else. And I ain't the only woman saying this. Go talk to your other elder women. I was a pygmy once. I can remember my mama telling me the same thing. My mama tell it right here, same things to me. And now I'm sitting up here reviewing these conversations. I'm able to go back and apply these conversations to what's happening now. You can be a hard head makes sense. You're gonna see the day one day, it may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but one day you're gonna sit here and you're gonna remember this conversation, Miss Pygmy, and you're gonna be like, damn, everything that woman said was not a lie. And see, you ain't got no experience. You feel a little tingle in your little butt. You think he doing something, and he portraying around like he out of this and out of that, and he ain't shit. You keep on thinking you got gonna make everything talking about my woman is a lioness. Yeah, because you had to go get your woman to sick her on me. See how he did? You ain't even me. It's crazy. It's crazy. You see it in the comments, y'all. Y'all see it in the comments. And see, they expected me to block them. They expected me to block him. He expected me to delete his comments. I don't want to do any of that. I want people to see the evidence here. I don't want to delete you. I want you to show your whole black ass right here. I sure do. I want you to show it so people can see it. So these ladies will know I'm not lying. They be all in my comment. That's the first thing they go through. When you speak the facts to them, they gonna call it hate. And Miss Pygmy, if you with him, your life is always in danger with the man. Your mind, your body, your spirit is at risk. Especially if he have to sit here and fight me in the comments. And you probably already got some disagreements with him. But you ain't brave enough to bring him to his attention. So y'all got to spend y'all time on here trying to bash me instead of addressing y'all issues y'all have in y'all relationship. Because I know you got some. I know you got some, because if you didn't, you wouldn't have your ass here. Wow, it is obvious there is only loyalty, not love. That's all they care about. That's all they care about. It is not, you're talking to somebody who was that? Who was that they was talking to? They was talking to this man, and he said he had 20 something kids by 6 different women. They are perfectly fine with that. They did an interview with Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon, if you saw that interview, I forgot whose show he was on, that lady psychologist. I think she's a therapist or something. But she broke that shit all the way down for him. He is basically a manipulator and a narcissist. See, they can be fine, have money and all that, and be fucking crazy. And he sat there and admitted that he manipulated women. He sat there and admitted that on that woman's podcast, that he manipulates women until he get what he want. He said that. And even talking about the other man, I don't know if he was a basketball player or a football player, but he's dating this comedian now. And this woman, she done drunk the damn Kool-Aid. This man got all these failed relationships, and here she is trying to make a wife and be his housewife and all this shit. That man can care less. He doesn't even value her. He don't even value her. So it doesn't matter. They can be rich and crazy. Ladies, if they can be old and crazy, it doesn't matter about age. It doesn't matter about their finances. They crazy, and we still run a risk in being in relationships with them, whether they're rich or poor. You seen it for yourself. Is all men like this? Not all men like that. You know, I say, and I'm being nice. I'm being nice. I say and I'm being nice. I say we probably got 2% that's not like that. We got 2%. That's very small. And in the first place, it's not supposed to be many of them, because when we started replicating them, we were very careful about their population. We were using one man for that. This ain't about. We were using one man, choosing one man that was of high stock and high value to have children with, and we passed him around. And it wasn't like that. We weren't trying to make no family or nothing like that with him like that. We were just replicating children. And some of them would come to these temples that we had, these, I don't like to call them birthing temples. Some of them would come to these temples that we had and have this divine ritual sex at certain times to produce special children. Because at certain times of the year, and the celestials in certain movements, we know a special child, we can birth a special child can be conceived that way. That's what that was for. And see, in the Bible, they got you thinking they was going to these brothels. No, they were going to these feminine temples. And that was a ritual. It wasn't a whole bunch of humping it. Now, that wasn't like that. Like you see sex today. No, it was a sacred act. It was a spiritual act. And that was a way that women can tap into her divine feminine. That's the way she was embodied. And that was the way that he can experience divine feminine. But see, they cut that out and they perverted it. And now we have a lot of perversity going on. Look back in that Bible. That Bible said it ain't good for man to be alone. There wasn't nobody there but him and the animals. What you think he was doing? When God said it ain't good for Adam to be alone, what you think Adam was doing there by himself with all them animals? What you think Thank you. Now we got freak offs. He's the first one freaking off. He had to make him a woman because he can't live without one. It literally hurts him. He know it hurts him. That's why they fight so hard in these comments. I don't take off our supply. I got to fight her. They can't take away our supply. I got to gaslight her ass. I got to tell her some bullshit. Oh, no, don't cut off my supply. That's how you fighting in them damn comments. That's how you fighting. That's how it sound. That's how it look. Because y'all know that's the very thing you don't want to be cut off. That is your lifeline. Y'all go nutty and crazy when you can't get it. It makes you crazy. You want to get control. We want to get the control back. Cut off your yoni and see how much control you get. Women make this motherfucker go round and round. I done told you. Women make the world go around. You can show them. Cut it off. Cut it off and see how right they get. It's a lot of men gonna be like, oh man, I ain't finna do that shit. I wanna be my woman. I ain't finna do all that shit you doing. You can get them right. Cut it off. Cut it off and watch and see what happens. That either a lot of lotion gonna be gone, a lot of lotion, Vaseline, all that stuff gonna be gone off the shelves. Or they gonna go to kissing on each other. Because we already got a whole bunch of DL brothers. A lot of them DL. They say they ain't gay, but they DL. Cut it off and see what happens. You want to get control of a man? You really want to get control. If we really want power, our power back. Cut off that yoni because that portal is the power. He would do anything. He unalived he genocided a whole civilization. He unalived a lot of our great mothers and all that stuff just so he can get control of the yoni. And then he just didn't want one woman. He wanted a lot of them. That's what they do. Ain't nobody got to manipulate. Yeah. They'll go to kissing on each other. They will, when you see men sitting around all the time, drinking together, smoking together, and all you see is nothing but men all around doing that, that's suspect. That is suspect. Because you know how they get when they get the drinking and they get the smoking. They get a little kinky. They get a little horny. So if you got men traveling in packs like that, drinking and smoking together, that's all you see them with is running with men doing that. That's suspect. That's very suspect. Ain't no women among them. They always want to hang out with their homies. They always want to drink and smoke with their homies. They spend more time with their homies than they do their woman. That's suspect. Now, boy, you making up all this stuff in the comments. She attacking y'all subconscious with the evil speculations. You hear that boy in that comment? You see that boy in them comments? I have to laugh at this stuff. I have to laugh. I have to laugh because you steady proving my point. Manipulating who when it's all facts. It's all there. All the information is there. You're seeing it everywhere. But I'm manipulating. When you have been manipulating women for over 6,000 years. So make it make sense, sir. I'm providing people with accurate, helpful information, but I'm manipulating. Like we don't have an epidemic of down low brothers. And you know we do. Y'all are ones who met is bringing on a lot of HIV because y'all down low brothers. Shoot, boy, you crazy. Boy, you crazy. You are grasping here. You are reaching here, and you have nothing to stand on because your forefathers have created a mess. A poor foundation for you to stand on. And you need to go back and talk to your daddy. You need to go back and talk to your uncle. You need to go talk to them people who passed that trauma on to you because y'all have to do y'all shadow work. You have to unpack that. This is not the place to do it. You need to go somewhere where some men is and go talk to some men about unpacking that, because you do not want to retain anything I'm saying. That's why I don't know why you're here. I don't know why you're here. I really don't. But it's very entertaining. You're very entertaining. I say that you're very entertaining. I'm lost, hurt, and delusional. You say I'm lost. You see how he gaslight me? And we all know what the truth is. But this dude is in the comments trying to gaslight me. He is projecting. What? Now I don't even know what you're saying. I'm going to really stop addressing you because you don't even deserve any of my energy or my attention. I'm tired of addressing you. Good. That's good. That's a family. Go tend to your family. Why are you here? It's 9 o'clock. Maybe, maybe y'all should be eating dinner. You should be snuggled on the couch with your honey, your boo, or whatever. Y'all love life should be so good and so tight. You don't even entertain what I'm saying because y'all shit right. So y'all ain't got to listen to me because y'all stuff is together. So you ain't got no reason to listen to me because your family life is just so perfect. So there's no reason for you to be here. No, it can't be wasteful because you've been sitting here listening to every word. So it's something you gaining behind it. My energy is bringing enlightenment. It is bringing divine insight. It is taking that veil down, that blur that y'all put up. It's getting rid of that Kool-Aid y'all have us drinking. That's what it's doing. Go on, Pygmy. Go on, stand by your man, Pygmy. Go on, girl. Because you got to help him. You got to help him because he can't stand on nothing. So he had to call you to come in here to me. But I guarantee you, while you in here, while both of y'all are in here, believe me, one day you're going to hear this same conversation in your head and you're going to hate you heard it because you sitting here listening. It's going to come back around because you're going to need it. I can stand on that. You know why I can stand on that? Because I got more wisdom and experience than you. I've lived longer than you. My life lessons have taught me. The ancestors guide me and walk with me. So I can speak from experience and wisdom. You have none of that. You don't have that. Because if you did, you wouldn't come in these comments with your stupidity. Now, for women, for ladies who are not pygmies and ain't in here trying to defend a man and put their man, the man is the center of their world. They don't even have no identity without their man. Their man is their whole identity. They don't have any thoughts or anything, no real thoughts of their own, no original thoughts. This lets me know how weak that man is because she has to come in here and defend him. And this lets me know how she's not in touch with herself because she in here defending a man. He didn't put you in a masculine role. You sitting up here taking a masculine role while he's taking a feminine role. So, I mean, you both look dysfunctional in those comments. Yeah, they man bought them up here. The programming is deep, ain't it, Amy Munn? It's deep. And I'm going to give you an example. Have y'all seen that video of those girls that were in the Nature Boy cult? Did you see how they was acting? I mean, I said, oh my God. They did him like this. And they did, I was just like, oh my God. I was just like, oh my God, great mother. I pray for their mind to get right. They don't know they were saved from a maniac. This man he was crazy. He was a full-blown psychopath narcissist. And they still caught up in that. We went down to see them. They wouldn't let us see him and blah, blah, this and blah, blah, that. And blah. I mean, they are still drunk. It's people like that. It's women like that. And I was like, who are they mothers? Who are they mothers? Because they're going to wake up 10 years from now and look at themselves and say, oh my gosh. Have you ever been in a relationship and then you go back and look at yourself and you say, oh my gosh, I was out of my mind. I don't even know why I put up with that. I didn't even have to put up with that. Have you ever, you've been in a relationship like that and you were like, oh my gosh, I didn't have to go through that. Oh my gosh, he was a loser from the beginning. I can't believe I put myself through that. That's how those young girls are going to be. That's how they're going to be. They're not going to believe it. When I'm glad they recorded that. So 10 years from now, when they go back and look at that, they can really see how sick they were in their mind, because they are sick. They are sick in their mind. And that's what patriarchy does to women. What patriarchy does to women, it makes them crazy. And every time that man is spilling his DNA in you, it psychologically messes you up. It does. That's a scientific fact. Every time he's spilling his semen in you, he is changing your DNA in your mind. I never said I was young. I never said I was young. You didn't hear me say that. Your mind act like you young. Your mind ain't matured then. Your body may be old, but your mind is still young. You haven't matured. They still sick. That is the impact that these men can leave on your life. Because with all the manipulation, all the gaslighting, all the games that they play, they can leave an impact like that on your life. They are bad for your mental health. Some women are walking around here with poor mental health because some man then just manipulated them, really just manipulated these women, and they don't even know what's up and what's down. Some of these men don't know what's up and what's down. Some of these women do not know. And then he wasn't meant to lead because he don't like taking accountability. He goes to projecting. He goes to neglecting. He goes to deflecting. He goes to all of gaslighting. He's going to do all those before he take accountability. He's going to do all that before it hurts him to take accountability. And that's another reason why you need to drive their ass. That's why I say, when you're going to be with one, you give him hell. You put the steering wheel on his back and you mash it all the way down to the pedal. You drive his ass. And if he can take that, then maybe, and I said maybe you can give him a chance. But he need to earn every fucking inch, because ain't nothing about you cheap. You come from greatness. You come from greatness. Your ancient mother gave birth to civilization. You carry the mitochondrial DNA in you. And he shouldn't be trying to give you nothing less than what you deserve, because you come from royalty. So he don't come to you shucking and jiving. He don't come to you shucking and jiving, shortchanging you. He should come to you ready to give you every dime in his damn pocket. And I said it. Every dime in his pocket. At least back there in some of them old days, the men came home and they gave their whole paycheck to their wife. And their wife didn't have to work. If he can't give you that whole paycheck, if he can't put all his money in your hand, don't fool with him. He full of damn games. He full of games. He need to put the whole check in your damn hand. You shouldn't have to pick up. You shouldn't have to work. If he really want you, you shouldn't have to help him work, pay no bills, none of that shit. Make him earn you. If he can't take care of you and provide for you, then he ain't no man. He ain't no man. He is not no man. He wearing panties. He want to wear panties and bras. He want a soft life. No, where in the hell you be? The hell no. You helping take care of him. What you need him for? What you need him for? You don't need them for nothing. If you got to pay the bills, you might as well be by yourself. If you can't put all that money in your hand, because, baby, you're going to give me some collateral fooling with you. Because I'm putting my mental health, I'm putting my physical health, all that shit at risk messing with you. You know you are the #1 predator of women. So you're going to give me some collateral. You're going to give me that whole damn check, and you're going to get yourself somewhere and sit down somewhere. You're going to pay to play. You're going to put my life and stuff in jeopardy. Oh, you're going to give me some collateral. Nobody to play with you. I can't do nothing but lose. Women don't do nothing but lose messing with them. Women don't do nothing but lose messing with them. That's all they do. You gonna lose. And you make sure that you have you a private little savings account in case he want to act the fool. You can land on your feet when it's time to get up out of there. You make sure you got you a little emergency bank. So whenever he want to act the fool, you land right on your feet. You be just right. You be just fine whenever he want to act the fool. You got your little stash put away. I always keep you a backup plan. Because see, they'll too try to control all the money to try to control you. So you always have you a backup plan. You always have your backup plan. But don't make it easy for them. They got it easy. Now they can hook up on these messengers. They can go on these they done messed up the dating website. You can't get on the dating app no more. I done heard women talk about that. So that shit is a hot mess. What's her name? That played in Ghostbusters. That tall, dark-skinned one. She said that they should name the apps Left Behind because them all the leftovers. She said that's leftover. They should call the app Leftover because that's all that's left over. They have messed up the dating apps. You don't even want to go on the dating app anymore and try to, because that you'll find the crazy ones there. They have got on the dating apps and they have ruined it. And they use some of these dating apps for to find their little side pieces and their little one-night stands. That's what they do. So you can't, the dating app has really made it easier for them to cheat and be just disingenuous. So ladies, you watch them. Don't take, now I'm telling you, don't take less. If he can't pay all them bills and he got to have a good temperament, you got to be able to drive his ass, put that steering wheel in his back and mash the pedal all the way down to the gas without him blowing up, getting mad. He need to stay calm through all that if he gonna win you over. Just all this temperament, all that. If he can do that, if you can deal with all that, you probably can keep him. But you're gonna have to vent these in very well, because they'll co-sign for each other. They have the audacity to co-sign filter. Oh, he a good dude. You know that dude ain't worth a quarter. You know that dude ain't worth a quarter. He a good dude. What do y'all consider a good dude? You can't even trust him. I remember my cousin telling me to set him up with a girl at church. I said, ain't no way in the hell I do that. I'm not finna help you destroy that woman's life. He got mad at me. I said, I don't give a damn. If you really like her, you don't need me to hook you up with her. You're a grown-ass man. I'm not finna help you destroy nobody's life. A cosign for you. No. You show her what you about. I'm telling you, ain't worth a quarter, girl. Miss Sunkissed, why y'all in here trying to prove y'all relationship to me? I'm nobody to you. beloved. I'm nobody to you. So I don't know why y'all fighting so hard to prove your relationship to me. What are you trying to prove? What are you trying to prove? You don't have to prove nothing to me. If everything is fine, then you shouldn't be in here. You're one of the women, you're one of the lucky women that don't have to worry about this. You're one of the lucky women. You say you're lucky. So you're a lucky woman. You're blessed. You don't need this conversation. I'm talking to the ones who are single, who are dating, who are thinking about getting in relationships. I'm telling them that there is possibly, and I'm being nice, maybe 2% of them. Because right now, what they have to choose from out here is trash. It's garbage. And I'm not finna sing a song to them. Go out here and find you a good man. No, I won't. I'm not finna tell them that shit. Because I'll be setting them up to get hurt. And that's the song you want me to sing in here. And I'm not going to sing that song. I'm going to tell them to be careful and vet them men and drive their ass. That's what I'm going to say. So I'm not finna come up here and gaslight them and tell them lies. I'm not going to do that. Now, if your stuff together, good for you. Good for you. Good for you. You don't have to prove nothing to nobody. And what they say, the more private that you keep your relationship, the more healthier it is. So I don't even know why y'all in here. It's got, I can't help but think but something not right in your relationship because you're fighting so hard in these comments. You didn't hear me say every man is bad. You didn't hear me say that. I said maybe 2% of them are good. Maybe you got that 2%. But 90% of them, 98% of them are trash. I don't see what is so hard for you to understand about that. Ain't nobody saying your man is trash. We're saying the majority of them are trash. Not all of them, but some of them are. Ain't nobody saying your man is bad. Who you trying to convince? Me or you? You trying to convince yourself that he's not bad? Because you don't have to convince me. I don't know him. I don't know him from a can of paint. I don't know you from a can of paint. So I don't know why you trying to convince me that he ain't bad. Or you trying to convince yourself. I already know from my experience, there is a low percentage of them that are decent men. And maybe you probably got that percentage. I don't know. But there is more garbage out here. It's more trash out here than it is good men. So I don't know why you fighting these comments. It's like you trying everything in your power to get rid of the truth. You don't want to see that because you got yourself a halfway good man, or you got yourself a decent man. I don't know what's wrong with you. Something is wrong with you. Now, I told you, not all men like that. There's a low percentage of them that are decent men. And if you got a decent man, then you don't need to be in here. Yeah, it's to convince themselves. They know their relationship probably jacked up. It's probably all types of shit in there. I don't even want to think about it. It's probably all kinds of stuff she got to put up with that man. All types of behaviors and all this kind of stuff. That we don't want to talk about that until we get mad. That's just like the little dark little black girl married to the white guy on TikTok, and she was telling him he need a break, and then she just out and said, hey, I don't want to pay for this car. I don't want to do this, and I don't want to do that, because he tried to make it look like he do everything and she don't do nothing. But come to find out, she been using her TikTok commission to pay for cars and trips and shit like that. She shut his ass down then. He ain't had nothing to say. But then she had us believing he was a good provider. He was doing this and doing that, and she didn't have to do nothing. But then when she got tired of that shit, she came to TikTok and that's why I say these people that get on here with these relationships and shit like that, they not being truthful. I want them to post the ugly shit too. Post that ugly stuff. Just like y'all post that lovey-dovey stuff. Post your problems on there too. Yeah, post your problems on there. Post your raggedy shit on there too. Don't just post your good stuff. Let's post the raggedy stuff on there. Let us see that part. You don't want to let us see that part. You don't want to see that part. You don't want to see that part. It's something that somebody doing some shit they don't want to do. Somebody tired of something in them relationships. And most times it's going to be the woman. Because she tired of being his mama. She tired of being his counselor. She tired of being his sex worker. She tired. You got so many roles you got to play with them. And then you got to play like you're not smart. So you won't make him feel less than a man. You gotta dumb yourself down a little bit. Because if you're too smart, he might get a little envious and start doing stuff, resentful stuff to you. So you got to dumb yourself, because they don't like women too smart. You can't be too smart. You can't have more sense than him. You can't be a better leader than him. Start gaining some momentum on him. Start self-development better than him. Start building yourself up above him, and watch how he treats your ass. Watch how he treats you. Start going to school, building up your bank account, building up your self-development, getting some leadership skills, getting smart, and all that shit. Surpass him in growth, and watch how he treats your ass. He gonna want you no more. He gonna want you. He gonna want somebody stupid. He gonna want somebody stupid. He don't want nobody smart. They don't want smart women. They either try to compete with them or bring them down a notch. Bring them down a notch so they can have power over them. Try to see. I got a friend. She's a nurse. She got a $500,000 house. Beautiful home. She bought it by herself. She drives a nice little Audi. Men come up and see that at her house. They are so insecure. They are so, because she got everything. What can a man do for her? What can a man, that men are very intimidated by that. Got a beautiful home. Nice car. She don't need for shit. But when she date men are intimidated. Because she already, they don't like that. That intimidates them. That intimidate, and if you do got it, he gonna try his best to destroy it and bring it down, because he feels like he got to have some power over you. He got to bring you down a notch. He definitely don't want you if you're smarter than him. They don't want that. Again, they are very insecure. They have always been that way. Not all of them, but most of them. They have always been that way. And that's what started that war against the matriarchs. We had everything. Everything. The land was ours. The land wasn't never. That's why you see them going in marrying these women so they can have access to our land. That's what they did over here in Americas. You have these French men and these Spanish men coming over here marrying the indigenous women because the women own the land. And that was the only way they can access the land, is through the women. So a lot of these marriages that went on was to access the land. Just like you saw in Hidden Colors. You got Alexander Pushkin. He had an African mom, but a white dad. And I was like, why is that going on? He got that woman pregnant so he can have access to the land. Because without marrying these women, they had no access to the land. Because by birthright, Mother Earth belonged to the women. Okay, that's why you see them marrying them. That's why you will see so many of those Moors. When you watch Hidden Colors, you see these white men married, but they're not mentioning too much of the women in that documentary. They're only mentioning the men because men were setting up patriarchy, and they were using their sons to do this. But they knew the only way that they can have access to the land is to get her pregnant. And it was a double if he can have a boy and get access to the land. Because now he can pass on his messed up thinking to his son to run the land. That's a fact. Women had, and you have a lot of them. So when you see them coming here, especially Louisiana, there was a lot of free blacks. Why? Because those French men, those Spanish men were coming in marrying some of our mothers that had, and another good example of that, them people, what's her name? The Ouachita, I forget her name. Her name was Vertice something. I did a review on it. But her mother owned the land. And she ended up marrying it. I think it was her dad's mother, ended up marrying a French man. And he was supposed to, and she did that because he told her that, I think that that his people was coming there to invade the lands, to take over her land. And during those times, most tribes, if that was going to happen, they was like, okay, let's not do that. Let's just marry into each other's culture. And that way we become one big family and it'd be all our land. So a lot of our ancestors did that. And so he went back to France. I think it was France. He went back to France. He went to the church and he was telling them, hey, we're going to get married. Leroy theory. I don't know what that means. Yep, you're right, Amy. You're right, Amy. Yep, you're right. So they took over the land. They took over that land. That's how they started taking over the land. It took them a while to do that. That's why we had John Hanson as a president. We had some Native Americans that was presidents. They had to do that with ease. They had to gradually do that, and slowly patriarchy start to take over in the Americas. So they had to do that through women. So at first they had to enslave women, force pregnancy on both of them, on some of them, so they can get rights to the land. That's what they did. And so by divine right and law, because this was already understood in the ancient world, women were guardians of planet Earth. We were the ones planting seed, growing food. Men were somewhere huddled somewhere else, hunting and something else. But women, we took care of the land. We were planting stuff. We did small game hunting, some of us. But most of us, we had a special relationship with the land. Men understood that. Back in those days, the ones that had sense said, they would say the woman, this is her land, since she have a special relationship with the land. We help her with the land, but we don't own it. She owned the land. They had this, they knew this. They sure did. Now, it's not till later they got jealous. Again, we got these Moors, these patriarchs. That's why I don't trust these Moors with their word playing self. They love playing with words. They love playing with words. I don't get down like that. But these Moors are the very person who enslaved us. It's not the white people who enslaved us. They are only slave masters. The real people that's keeping the racism going, they look just like me and you. They are called the black nobility. The Pope bowed down and kissed their feet. They look just like me and you. It would take somebody. They are the ones who promoted the whitewashing to hide themselves in history. They hid themselves in here. They don't want, when we go find out, we got to look at Abraham Lincoln and say, he was black and y'all painted him white. Because the black people told them to do that. They wanted to hide their identity. It's really a master plan. It's really a master plan. That's just like the Wizard of Oz. You think it's a lot of people. When you see the Wizard of Oz, you think it's a big god that's running the show and all this stuff, and then you look behind the curtain, it ain't nothing but this man doing all this stuff. That's what's going on here. The black nobility, they look just like me and you, and they don't think. They say they not like us. That's what they say. They different from us, but they look just like us. And the Pope bow down and kiss their feet. That's why I tell you, this ain't no race thing. They did all they had to do. The only reason they were able to get control because they began to control the portals of the women and the women's spiritual practices. That was the only way they were able to dominate that, and gave men religion to suppress and oppress women. That's what you got in a nutshell. So you think you can get mad at these white people if you want to. All them people over there in England, that's just like Queen Elizabeth. She got black nobility. That's because black Moors put her in there. Remember, the Moors, they left Egypt. They went into Morocco. They crossed over into Europe. And they started civilizing them people. They bought them arts and science. They even, if you look at some of those countries, especially France looked just like Central America with all those water ducts. They even took some of the architecture with them. So when you think it's about race, they are tricking you. They got rid of all the dragons. They got rid of all of that. Now, I really think, too, when I go back and listen to that story, I'm not going to keep y'all long. I'm going to close in a minute. When I go back and look at this story with Billy Carson, when he tells this story of the Anunnaki and how they got out of here right before the flood, like they knew the flood was going to come. Now I had to stop right there. I said, now, if these Anunnaki was here to help humanity, they was here to help us, why in the hell would they not stop the flood? And something said, well, maybe they were the one who caused the flood. They needed to reset things because they needed to stomp out that feminine energy that was dominant on this planet. I firmly believe they the one who set the flood. I believe that's the kill, and also to get rid of some of those genetic testing, making all these different species that they were doing when they got to tampering with our genetics. I think they did other experiments too with animals and other things. And so it got out of control and they had to reset the planet. That's just my, that's what I personally think. Because that just didn't make sense. I'm like, if you're there to help humanity and you're bringing all this advanced technology and you just trying to help them evolve, why the hell you gonna leave them when you know a flood gonna come? It didn't make sense to me. Luke, why are you working so hard in these comments trying to discredit this truthful information? Similar thoughts. I mean, we really need to think of that. And when they telling you this story, because they adamant about these aliens. That is their story. That you hear more men telling that story. So they know who mess with their genetics. You have more men telling that story. Women, we come from here. We come originally from planet Earth. We were aquatic beings. We were aquatic beings for a long time. Our life comes from the water. So we were aquatic beings at one time until we evolved. That's why you got that story with the mermaid, Mama Wati. You know, you got that story. So a lot of us, you know, that's where we came. We came from there. And they talk about that in that book, The Great Cosmic Mother. That's why it's more water on this planet than it is land. Because we came from the water. Uh-huh. I think you enjoying yourself, Luke Laser. I think you love a good debate and an argument. But that's really feminine, though. That's really feminine. You probably want to think about that. That's really feminine. Why would you want to argue with a woman? Why would you want to go back and forth with me? That's something you probably want to look at yourself about that. You probably want to look into that. But yeah, you know, yeah, it's not a race thing. It's a woman thing. Because if you can control a woman, you make sure you got workers in here. You make sure that you got plenty of resources. You make sure you got workers. That's just like that man that said in that video. If these women that had abortions, now that's 200,000 people we can't put to work. He didn't think of them as humans, as people that had their own lives. Maybe they didn't want to go to work. Maybe they wanted to own their own company. He said those two. So this has become a form of slavery, servitude. And they have been controlling our portals with outlawing abortions and all of that. Because if they don't have souls in here to oppress and abuse, it doesn't work. It doesn't work if women don't bring in souls for them to misuse. It doesn't work. So they have to get control of the population. But we really control the population. The only thing we have to do is don't have any children. Don't bring no more souls in here for their stupidity, to be bought in here in this unhealthy environment. I just wouldn't do it. See, it's illegal. They know it's illegal because they're intelligent. They are intelligent, Amy. They know that. They know we come. I sit up there and watch a documentary one time on the History Channel, and they were talking about was it whales? They said whales had legs, that whales could walk, and that it was amphibians, which I think they were talking about us. It was some amphibians that came to the land, adapted, and they got legs and all that stuff. Now that makes sense. That evolution from the monkey thing don't make sense, because if we evolved from monkeys, there would be no reason for procreation. That means they would still be coming out the jungle, they would keep evolving, right? And that just didn't make no sense. But when I started to look at that documentary, I was just like, oh my God, so there were mammals. That's why whales are mammals. They even said, they even said at one time that whales had legs. Yeah, that was them. They went into the water. No, it was whales that were land dwellers, but they didn't have any food on the land. They wasn't safe on the land. So they went into the water. And that's why whales are mammals, because at one time they had legs. Yeah, that was the story. I was just like blown away when I was listening to that. Well, you disagree with her. You know, you did your fighting. You did your disagreement. You did your dismissing of the facts. Yeah, and it makes sense though, but because when we listen to Mama Wata, we look at that and we start looking at the Sybil and how I love that lady. She's gone now. Her name was Vivian Hunter, who wrote the book Sybil. She's telling you that is the story of our ancient mothers. They say we came from there. And even when when I was reading The Secret Teachings of All Ages, men Men were admitting in that there were androgynous water aquatic beings. There were androgynous. But in the secret teachings of all ages, these men, they try to take on that role. And I'm like, you're not from here. They took over that story. See them taking over that story in the secret teachings of all ages. They stole the story and they wrote themselves into it. It's really something. It's just so many lies, y'all. It's so many lies. And I don't want, be careful out there. Stop listening to these men. Listen to these women. Listen to these women that's talking about the divine feminine. Listen to these women that are telling you about their experiences. Listen to your elders when they're speaking to you, because they are speaking from experience. Okay? I don't think any of them would tell you anything to hurt you. I wouldn't. I don't want to see you go through to make the same mistakes as our ancestors, or even some of us Gen X women. Yeah, I don't want to see you go through that. You're worth more than that. Don't compromise your mind, your body, or your spirit, and give them hell out there, because you deserve the very best. It's 75%. It's 75% water. And what is water? Water is feminine. That's letting you know this is a feminine planet already. It's ruled by intuition. Water. When I look at the tarot, that I can always tell when somebody is very intuitive. I can already tell them. I can tell them even when they're getting read. It'll come up. And it's usually with women. Your intuition already told you the truth. You're just coming to me to get confirmation. That usually shows up in a woman's reading. I'm either going to get a page of cup, or I'm going to get an ace. I'm either going to get a page of water or cups, or I'm going to get an ace of cups or waters. Usually because women already know. They come in with their intuition. They're just coming to me to get confirmation. But that's why this is a feminine planet. And that's why it's so out of balance. Men are not supposed to be leaders, because this planet has to interface with feminine energy, with women, because women are the original guardians on this planet. And we don't practice warmongering. We don't practice violence. We practice nurturing, love, and family. Men are the ones who have destructive behavior, and they've taken over these roles, and they are hurting the planet and humans and the moon. Yep, that moon. We have a cosmogenetic. We are not, it used to be a time when patriarchs took over, they changed astrology itself and made the sun the center. But it makes more sense if there were women on this planet and they had a moon cycle, they would have astrology based on the moon and keeping up with the moon cycles and not the sun. And they were. And you can see that in the background, because on most calendars, they're going to have that moon cycle in there. On the background, we're following the moon cycle, even though they have put the sun in the center. Men has aligned himself with the sun. But too much the sun is also destructive. Too much sun can hurt you. So yeah, the earth and the moon, that is the original. That is original. We have a cosmogenetic link. That's why women are innately spiritual and we are innately intuitive. Men don't have that. Men don't have that. We even had places, even when we go through our cycle, we had temples that we would go to, and we had our cycle. We would be more intuitive, and we would go in with these wise women to tap into our intuition and our innate power. We would learn to master it. We had temples for that. But now we don't have that. They have us isolated in these marriages, and we don't have a sisterhood. We too busy competing against each other, hating on each other, despising each other, betraying each other. But here now you got the men sticking together and the women hating on each other, when that used to be the other way around. Dark, you can't have light without darkness. Darkness is first, and you have to go into the darkness to find yourself. The light gonna blind you if you ain't careful. Okay, I ran it here long enough, and I know Luke and Sun-Kissed Skin is glad to see me in this live. But I hope you enjoyed the live. Gave you some insights here today. And if there's any other things that you want to discuss, go ahead and put it in the comments. Let me know what else you want to talk about, what other discussion that you want to have. But I felt a need to come here and talk about that today because Luke and this other guy was in my comments trolling me. And so I wanted to come here and be a matter of fact with you. All right. It's been a pleasure with all of you, Amy. I appreciate all of you being here, Luke and Sun-Kissed. Thank you. Good night, you guys.